Make sure that we're double tapping. Hello and welcome in for everybody tuning in over on the YouTube stream. Thank you so much for being in here with us today. We're going to waste no time and hop right into the debates with Trump supporters. We already have our first Trump supporter, Jocelyn, up on the line right now. Jocelyn said that they voted for Trump, or sorry, I guess you just turned 18 after the election. So you support Trump because you're against abortion. So tell us, what are your thoughts on abortion, Jocelyn?
Well, let me just rephrase. I don't really support Trump, but I'm 100% a Republican, so I would just...
Okay, well, this live is supposed to be a space where we're talking to people that support Trump, but you kind of came out of the gate swinging by saying that you're pro-life, anti-abortion, and I think that's worth a conversation regardless. So tell us about your view on abortion.
Well, I'm Christian, Catholic, and I don't know. I just think that I also think the whole thing about women's rights being taken away is, I mean, obviously, kind of, they did, but I really have not noticed any of my rights being taken away.
Okay,
So,
well, they have. You've lost a federal right to access abortion, regardless of which state you preside in. So you have lost that right. That is clear. So you think that abortion's wrong because you're Catholic? Is that a fair interpretation of your view?
well, yeah, kind of.
So do you think that we should have a separation between the church and the state? Or should we use the church to guide what the state does, like what they make legal, what they make illegal?
I guess.
I guess wasn't an answer. Which one? Separation or no separation?
No separation, sorry.
So you do think we should have a separation?
Yeah.
Okay. So although you may think that abortion is wrong because of your views related to the Catholic Church, this shouldn't imply that you're pro-life, because pro-life is a stance of legality, meaning that you think it should be illegal. And obviously, you just told us that you personally want to keep your religious views separate than your views that you employ when voting for legislation. So you're pro-choice.
No.
So then why are you pro-life? Because what are your motivations for supporting pro-life legislation? Because those motivations obviously aren't the church, since you uphold a separation between the church and the state. So what are the motivations for your support of pro-life legislation?
I just think it's wrong.
And why is that? Because obviously you must think it's wrong for reasons other than this idea that you're a Catholic, right? Because any motivations related to the church, you told us should be separate from the state. So what are your motivations for the idea that you think it should be illegal?
Because I just think killing a baby is not right.
And why is that?
I just could never see... I mean, in certain situations, yes. Like rape or...
Okay, so why is it wrong in elective circumstances?
If you were just messing around and get pregnant, then that should not... That's your fault, not the baby's.
Okay, so you're basically saying because a woman engaged in sex, knowing that it could run the risk of pregnancy, if she does get pregnant, she has to suck it up and deal with it, right?
Yep.
So if I engage in smoking cigarettes, knowing it runs a risk of lung cancer, if I do get lung cancer, should I have to suck it up and deal with it? Or should I be able to go to the hospital, talk to a medical health professional, and seek treatment to terminate the life of the lung cancer?
I guess if you want to.
So, okay, seemingly you are okay with people like not just sucking up and dealing with the consequences of their actions, quote unquote. So why do you apply this logic to a woman that engages in sex, but not to a man that smokes a cigarette?
Well, I also am kind of on the thing of depending when you get an abortion. If you get an abortion early in with pregnancy, I guess, but I just don't think it's right to not, I guess, wait, but get an abortion anywhere past 12 weeks, 16
Kelsey,
weeks.
thank you so much for the $20 over on YouTube Super Chat. So you think that it's okay before 12 weeks, but not okay after weeks. Why is that?
Because the baby's basically almost not halfway, but
So it's something about the development of so it's a heartbeat. So you think the moment a fetus gains a heartbeat, that fetus has moral value.
It's basically kind of living then-ish.
So is it living...
murdered?
Go ahead, Parker.
Is it murder to pull the plug on an individual in your family, on an individual in your family that's brain dead, given that they have a heartbeat?
Well, that's really sensitive because I just lost my father 6 months ago from a brain injury, and his heart was still beating, but we had to pull the plug because there was nothing they could do.
So you of all people should
really sorry to
know
hear
that's not murder. In fact, classifying that as murder would be incredibly disrespectful to you and your family, right?
Yeah?
Right. So we can't just merely say it's murder to kill a human because they have a heartbeat.
But it's just the only reason we did that is because we knew 100% that, and he had said it if he was ever in that kind of, they said there was no possible way if they ended up doing surgery that he would
Right.
live a normal life again, and we knew he wouldn't want that.
Okay, Jocelyn, do you want to continue to debate this topic? I don't really know if I want to use like your dad as an argument. I feel like that'd be pretty unfair to you. Should I move on to the next guest, or is there maybe something else that you want to talk about?
Probably not.
Okay, all right. Well, I appreciate you for coming up, Jocelyn. I kind of hold a
I'm
little
sorry
bit
to
of
hear
a
that, Jocelyn.
red line against using somebody's
Yeah,
dad that died
real world
6 months
example.
ago as a as an
yeah.
argument. Yeah. What's up, Joe? Do you support Trump?
I do.
Okay, how old are you, man?
28.
God, man, why do you support such a train wreck of a president?
Well, I kind of wanted to come on here and discuss what we were just talking about. So
So you also
I am
support Trump because of abortion? Is that what you're telling us?
so I don't support abortion.
And that's why you voted for Trump. That's why you support him now.
Correct.
Okay, so you just voted to like further like persecute women. Okay, so
Well,
do you feel like this idea of like further persecution of women, advocating for less women to have the legal right to access abortion, that's like more important to you than like securing like financial like more purchasing power for the average American? Like, you know, we know that his economic policy is reducing the after-tax income for 80% of Americans, and you just don't care because you think that less women are going to have abortions because of Trump, and that's a win. Like, you don't really care that he's a fascist, undermining the Constitution, tried to rig the outcome of the election because at the end of the day, less women are going to be having abortions. Is that kind of your position? I just want to know more, I guess. By the way, I can't hear you when you're on pause.
Yep, can't hear at all.
So,
Meantime, everyone, make sure to like the stream. Oh, he left.
he left. Okay. Also, Genevieve, thank you for the $20 over on YouTube Super Chat as well. I do really appreciate you for that love, Genevieve. Genevieve said if somebody had an abortion at 23 weeks, a pregnancy that was wanted, this woman can bite me. Genevieve, I appreciate you so much for the $20 and thank you for the message as well. Shout out, Genevieve. What's up, Brandon? Are you MAGA?
Absolutely strategic. Best move you could have ever seen. He's got that dog in him.
Okay. All right, Brandon. How old are you?
You like what I did there?
How old are you,
I
Brandon?
need to find that point.
Is he even talking to us? I don't even know if he's talking to us.
He's not.
That's funny as hell. I wonder what he's talking
I'm
about.
not sure either.
Justin, are you MAGA?
Well, first off, I just want to say I disagree with both of you guys heavily.
All right. Are you MAGA?
All I'm saying is you guys just feed into the government.
All right.
Divide and conquer.
All right. Are you MAGA?
I don't give a fuck about politics. You know why? Because you guys are dividing and conquer. We should be together. We should show love. Like, you guys just feed into hate.
Justin, we have to
You
understand.
guys feed into hate.
You're
that's a fact.
stop creating division between me and you by saying that. You're
I mean,
disagreeing
all
with
I'm-
me.
all I'm
Stop creating
saying
division
is you guys go
by
on
debating
and
me on a
on
live
about
right now. This is
one half
horrible,
is
Justin.
worse than the other.
Justin, please
One
stop
half
doing
is
this.
worse
This
than
is
the
horrible.
other.
We
You
need to
guys
be unified,
fucking go
Justin.
together.
Justin,
show
we need to be
love.
unified. We cannot take this division right now. Stop disagreeing with me on the live.
I'm disagreeing with you personally. I'm not disagreeing with you right now.
And I'm disagreeing with all the MAGA people who join up on the live personally and engaging in conversations with them personally.
I have a question. If somebody like broke down your front door and kidnapped your wife and children, but you caught him on the way out and you stopped him by hitting him in the back of his head with a baseball bat, would you be doing something wrong?
I'm not saying either side is right. But you guys just feed into
Can you answer my question?
this division.
You're feeding into division
it's
right now by
completely
disagreeing with
wrong.
us,
It's
okay?
completely wrong.
Do,
I agree
do we
with you.
hear the words coming out of my mouth?
I completely agree. with
Okay,
you.
so let me
That you
explain
guys
to you what
feed
I'm
this
doing.
division.
Let me explain to you what I'm doing from my perspective, and I want you to critique it. Okay? Can you prove my perspective wrong?
Go ahead.
Okay, so my perspective is that 49.9% of our country voted a lunatic fascist into office, and which has spent the last 130 days calling for the termination of the Constitution, violating the Constitution, further perpetuating terrible systemic issues, such as identifying immigrants as an enemy to build a unified base surrounding hate and dehumanization towards, revoking international students' abilities to attend schools like Harvard, attempting to suppress the media and advocating for economic reform that will make 80% of Americans better off. And, we just see a lot of Americans champion this lunatic. So from my perspective, the purpose of these lives is to simply point out that that's not like intellectually founded. I mean, that's just simply a very poor emotional reaction that doesn't possess any real reason. And I like to demonstrate this through debate with a hope that if people listen to what I have to say, less people will support Trump now and less people will support similar people and movements in the future.
No, I agree with you. 100%. Like, there's wrong and there's right to each side. And I think you can see that both. But what I'm saying is you guys are just feeding into this division that the
So you're just going
government
to repeat
wants.
yourself. All right, I appreciate you for coming up, Justin. I
You
typically
didn't understand my argument.
I typically like kick people after they repeat themselves for like the 5th or 6th time and don't like really respond to anything that I'm saying. So let me know down below in that comment section if you want to come up and debate. If you're MAGA, y'all, let's go to get that next guest up on the live literally right now. Everybody, let's go to get that next guest up on the live right now. Also, Jay, thank you for the $50 over on YouTube Super Chat. Saying Dean just finally got around to summon Parker. I entered into the University of Sane Debate. Where you two are the only professors, which is all anyone needs. Yeah, I appreciate you for the love. You've been hanging out with us a lot recently, Jay. Everybody in that chat could show Jay some love. I really appreciate you, man. Huge shout out to Jay. Let's go to get that next guest up in here, though. I'd also like to show some love over to Demon. Thank you for the $50 over on YouTube Super Chat as well. Demon didn't leave a message, but let's show some Demon some love down below in that chat with at least 500 W's, y'all. What's going on, Hunter? Do you support Trump?
So I'm like half and half, My family has always supported Trump and MAGA,
So what about
but
you?
I don't, I'm divided between the two because
Then I feel like the
I
better.
don't really want.
I feel
I
like
don't really
if
want,
you're
more
agnostic
taxing.
and you're denied and you're like divided, like the better place for you to be is like watching the stream to listen to the debates compared to like being on the stream and debating me. But real quick, how old are you?
I'm 16.
Also that. I think you got to be at least 18 to be in TikTok Live. I think it's awesome that you're thinking critically about politics. But I'm going to go to remove you. I think that maybe like the stream would be useful to you to listen to. We're going to go to move on to the next guest. Everyone, just give us a minute. If you're in that queue and you support Trump, let us know. We're going to go to get that next guest up on the live right now. Also, Ken, thank you for the Galaxy. If you're watching and you'd like to support me, you can find my Venmo, my PayPal, and the link tree in my bio. I get 100% of the proceeds over on those platforms, y'all. And yeah, well, let's go to get that next guest up here. Go ahead and drop a MAGA down below in that chat if you do want to come up and join and have a conversation, everybody. All right, who is the next guest? Who's the next guest, everybody? Lobo, thank you for the $10 saying, read aloud. A tenor for the boy and for trying to unite the division through reason and logic. Lobo, you're a G, bro. Thank you for the love, Lobo. Shout out Lobo. What's up, Luca? You MAGA?
Yeah, I'm MAGA.
I think that Playboy Carti should be president.
Get out of here. Luca, how old are you? And they left. Okay. It looks like most of the people that we have that are willing to request step are like 15. A lot of fetuses. It's so true. Marvin.
I've been getting a lot of fetuses too recently.
Marvin and River, thank you both for the $3 on PayPal. Naya with a $10 saying thank you so much for educating closed-minded folks. I appreciate you for the love, Naya. And John with a $25 and Shirley with a 15. Shout out to Shirley, John, Naya, River, and Marvin. What's up, what's up, Rocky? You support Trump?
Yeah.
It's totally a fetus.
Jordan, you MAGA?
None of it. I live in Germany.
Tom, you MAGA? We had one fetus, we had one German, and then we had one AFK bot.
I'm loading up full panels, and we're still not getting guests. Dean, what is up with your guest box, dude? It's kind of bad.
Well, yeah, it's just because we have so many people in here, and the proportion of Trump supporters that are willing to debate me is so
MAGA.
low. All right, Rosie, are you MAGA?
Kind of, but I'm a little half and half, but I support Trump again.
Shit, Rosie, re-request. I didn't mean to kick you. I meant to kick one of the other AFK guests. Please re-request. I'm so sorry. Krosh, what's up? Are you MAGA?
Hey, what's up? Yeah, totally. We are way better off with Trump in office than with him out.
Great. Wonderful full-time she-he. Are you MAGA?
Yeah, I'm one. Yeah,
How old are you?
I'm 19.
What time is it?
6'11",
Okay, great. What year are you born in?
2005.
Cool. Ian, are you MAGA? That looks like Ian's leaving. Okay, so it's just wonderful time and Krosh. Okay, I completely think that Donald Trump is a raging lunatic, shouldn't be anywhere near government, especially the executive branch. I think that he's actively regressing the state of this country, making it worse day by day. I also think he's incompetent, and I also think he's crazy. Tell me why I'm wrong, y'all.
Oh my God,
Yeah,
thank
so-
God that lunatic is in office. I'm so grateful
Why is that?
because we could not possibly achieve what we need to achieve unless we had the direct mortal danger of Donald Trump in office.
Not one of
No,
them.
no,
Sorry.
Krosh,
one of
no,
these.
no.
Yeah, you guys all just tossed me out. You tossed me out because
Yes!
you're afraid of the
No,
argument.
I tossed
We
you
are
out because
better
you're
off.
crazy.
I just
We're
don't.
better off.
Stop.
You think I'm
You-
wrong?
you-
we are
you-
better off. Imagine what would have
He would have
happened.
voted for Hitler because maybe then there'll be a communist that comes right after it.
Yeah,
Donald
yeah. Hey,
Trump-
Krosh, can I ask you a question, buddy? I'll actually engage in your argument. I have a counter
I really
position. Are you
appreciate
ready?
it. Thank you. Yes.
Great. So I have a question. Imagine there's a woman. When she was 16, she was raped. Because she was raped when she was 16, she went on to live a life of advocacy for women's rights and a reduction of harm against women. And she was the most successful women's rights advocate that has ever lived. And single-handedly, because of her advocacy, she was able to reduce the levels of harm against women to close to 0 to none over the course of her lifetime.
Dude, you're making my argument for
So
me.
I have a question. Does this mean that when she was raped at the age of 16, that was a good thing that should have happened?
There is no way to say that it's a good thing or a bad thing. The question
Should
is,
it have happened?
was
What?
her-
What?
What do you
was
mean there's
her-
no way you can say it's a
was
fucking
her-
bad thing,
Would
you
like the
disgusting piece of
answer?
shit?
Would you
Guys,
like
shut the fuck
answer?
up.
The good thing.
Shut the fuck up. No, be quiet. Stop.
It is a
No,
terrible,
you know, no.
horrible
It is
travesty.
absolutely a horrible thing.
It is a travesty. It is a terrible, horrible
So you
travesty.
can tell. So you
However,
can tell.
However, our entire society may be better off with her policies, with her in power because of what she went through. And the same is true for you and for Parker. You too are being motivated right now by Trump in office. And if we didn't have him in office, it might have been so much worse. Do you know how much they might have?
So
you know how
I
much-
just want to clarify. Can we agree that still yet, when she was 16, she shouldn't have been raped?
No, she should not have been raped. And
Awesome.
if
Now,
Kamala had
what's the
won-
parallel here? The parallel here.
If Kamala
the-
had won,
listen,
we might have had a
Here-
civil war.
Here's my conclusion. Are you ready?
We might have had a civil war.
Krosh, I got my conclusion.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Just ignore the crazy comments about a civil war under Harris because I just dunked on him, and here's how. So
Okay,
you just
okay.
agreed, right, that this woman, when she was 16, she got raped. That was a bad thing. That shouldn't
Terrible.
have happened, even though
Right.
because she got raped, she went on to be the most successful women's rights advocate
Right.
ever. Okay, but the parallel here
And
is
you
to say.
can't enjoy the stars without a black background.
So the parallel here is to say that I'll grant you the argument that because Trump is president right now in the midterms in the next presidential election, we're going to have a progressive revival, right? But just like
Yeah.
it means that that 16-year-old shouldn't have been raped, it still shouldn't have happened. The implication for your argument would be even if we have a progressive revival because of Trump, still yet Trump shouldn't have been elected president. Get dunked. You lost, I win.
If you could look at the reality of our life in America with both possibilities, you would see that America is better off in the future with Trump elected now. If Trump had not been elected,
Yeah,
if Trump
I
had-
just disputed this argument. The future is better off because that woman went on to be a women's right advocate, and that wouldn't have happened if she didn't get raped. But still yet, she shouldn't have gotten raped. It shouldn't have happened. A more preferable version of the world is one in where she didn't get raped, right? So even if I grant you the position that the future is better off, right, because of progressive revivals down the line, this doesn't justify him being president now. In fact, we'd have to agree that he shouldn't have been elected in the first place.
It does not justify it at all, but 50% of the country apparently.
Thanks for the concession. Hello, wonderful.
Yo, Pat, by the way, did you vote for Donald Trump? Pat, did you vote for Donald Trump?
Pat's not here.
Pat, are you there?
Nope. Wonderful. Take it away. Tell us why you support Trump.
My time to shine.
Yeah.
So I know that you guys got a donation from someone, and it said that they got an abortion, I think, at 23 weeks, but in your eyes, at 20 to 24 weeks, it's immoral to get an abortion. So would you call that supporter that gave you money and murder?
So that was she clarified that she wanted the pregnancy to continue and that it was for likely medical reasons. I don't think that's murder.
Okay, but if they do get it 20 to 24 weeks and it's not for medical reasons, what would you consider it?
Yeah, like a purely elective abortion at that point. Yeah, I think that's wrong. But that wasn't the case of the individual in which donated. I mean, she even like literally clarified that she didn't want the pregnancy to get terminated. Well, this would imply that it was for medical reasons. But why do you support Trump, man?
Yeah, so I think that it's important to have a strong leader. I think his morals are absolutely terrible. I'm not even going to try to justify any of the things.
We've talked to this guy before.
Oh, it's the same guy. Why are you putting on a fake Southern accent?
Yeah.
I talk to you every day.
We talk to you every day, dude.
I'm honestly surprised that he isn't like liberal yet. Like every time he comes up here, he ends up just conceding his view. I will say, like, he argues some crazy shit, but he's like relatively better faith than the average guest I have up here. What's up, Megan? Do you support Trump? Megan's not here. We're going to get the next guest, Victor, up in the live, everyone. Go ahead and drop a MAGA down below in that chat if you'd like to join in. Linda, thank you so much for the $50 over on PayPal. Linda says, you have inspired this Gen Xer to debate MAGA. I've hung in there long enough for them to sling insults, curse, and run away. Thanks. Let's go, Linda. Yo, Linda, bro, we got to come up here and debate with me sometime. Everybody, shout out Linda down below in the chat. It's so awesome that you're debating. And also, thank you for the $50, as well as Ryan. Thank you for the $10 on Venmo saying, light them up, Dean. I'll never stop. Thank you for the love. Victor and Kaylee, do you guys support Trump?
Yes, yeah, sir. I do.
Okay, Victor, I'm sorry, man. Your mic sucks. Kaylee, you're the only one with us.
Low-key, before this starts, there's no reason to be fighting with random people on here.
There's no reason. There is. Yeah. I could give it to you.
The 2 pounds, thank you.
I could tell you the reason.
There's no point because you guys have your own opinions.
There's a point. The point is to make.
He got chosen pregnant. He got chose to be president for a reason.
One moment, Kaylee. Let me clarify. There is a point of me running these live streams. Well, she didn't want the point clarified to her. Goodbye, Kaylee.
I just want to say, was there a point of her joining the live in the first place and showing a disagreeing opinion to us in front of so many people? And if there was, would that then justify us doing the very same thing with our disagreeing opinions with people on the live in front of an audience to the same degree?
I guess we'll never know because she ran away.
Like anyone who makes that claim, like it actually like boggles my mind. Like people will make an argument, debates or like they're ineffective or something like that. They're debating the point that debates are ineffective.
It honestly just kind of makes me laugh. Okay. Hello, Megan. Are you MAGA?
No, I support you and...
Base! Shout out, Megan! I'm sorry for kicking you and cutting you off. We're just looking to debate Trump supporters, but I seriously don't want you to take that as an insult. In fact, if everybody down below in that chat could show some love to Megan, that'd be fucking awesome.
Cookie King does not mog you.
Cookie King does not mog me. Is that what you said?
Yeah, I know it.
Congratulations for being employed.
Hey, Nick Fuentes mogs you. Nick Fuentes mogs you.
Jobs.
You fucking disgusting ass fucking person.
He mogs you.
Job.
You're that's a Nazi, dude.
Just get a job. Just like get a job, okay? Get a job and then roll the clip of Nick Fuentes picking his nose and eating it on live, okay? Yeah, roll the clip. But first get a job. All right, what's up, HAS? Do you support Trump? They're not even here. Okay, if you're part of the 11,000 people watching the stream and you support Trump, let us know down below in that comment section.
Why is it so difficult to get a guest with 11,000 people in the stream on your stream? It's actually unbelievable, Dean. I swear I get guests quicker with significantly less people.
Well, how about we play a game where everybody in the chat takes a guess, and I'll tell you guys if you're right or wrong because I think I know. Hello, Parkett.
Yo, what's up? How old are you?
The name is Parkett. Get a job. Funny. Moving on. Here we go. Here we go. All right, let's see. They've no defense. Yeah, so my guess is like I've gained an aura of being a very notorious left-wing debater. So all the Trump supporters are like, no, don't want to talk to him.
Dean saying that they're scared of Dean but not scared of me is diabolical.
Well,
That's diabolical.
Well, I think like the implication there isn't that they're not scared of you, but I don't like. There's probably just been like a higher level of like circulations of like clips of like me debating Trump supporters, if that makes any sense. So it's just like more likely that a Trump supporter will like see me and they'll be like, oh, like I've seen a clip of him debating before. I'm not going to talk to him. You know what I mean?
I'm just trying to make it uncomfortable for you. Well,
we're gonna go to move on to the next guest, guys. Let us know down below in the chat if you want to come up and debate. What's up, Rihanna? Do you support Trump?
No.
Then stop requesting. We're gonna go ahead and go over the ground rules of the live. Everybody, I want you to listen to me very closely. In fact, I'm gonna look you in the eyes while I say this. If you're in the guest requests and you are not MAGA, and you're not from America, and you're not at least 18 years old, I'm gonna start banning you.
Hello.
One moment. From the live stream. And in fact, if you come onto this live knowing the rules and you still decide to break them, I'm going to have my chat publicly haze you by spamming tomato emojis. So don't do it. No. I want to have confidence that the people I'm bringing up are actually here to debate, okay? What's up, Rylan? Are you MAGA?
I absolutely am.
Okay, how old are you?
I am 24.
And why do you support such a train wreck of a presidency?
I do because
Rylan, before you do, I just want to make sure this person's a Trump supporter. Pat, did you vote for Donald Trump?
No, I didn't vote.
Okay.
Wait. Do you support Trump?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that other guy left, so
Oh.
it's just you now, Pat.
This person was asking in the comment section if we're lovers.
Oh.
Yeah, I think you guys like fuck each other.
Oh,
low-key.
okay, Pat. Here's my thoughts. The only person thinking about me and Parker fucking each other is you.
What? What?
The only person thinking, like, do you need help on the fanfic?
I have no idea what that means.
Like the fanfic in your notes app that you work on at 3 a.m. with like me.
No, I have no idea what that means.
Okay, all right.
The fuck is that?
Don't worry about it. Tell us, Patty. Why do you support Trump?
I would just love to, hear, why you're on here spewing bullshit.
Pat, how elevated are you right now?
Spewing bullshit. I'm gonna tell you, Pat. I'm gonna tell you something.
I would like you to educate me.
Sure, Pat.
Why you're on here fucking just saying all this dumbass shit.
Yeah, Pat, you tell him. So I don't think what I'm saying is dumbass shit. I actually think it's fact, and I'm happy to debate that.
I'm not really here to debate, but sure, whatever you want.
Okay, so tell me something that I say often that's just bullshit. Okay, let me know.
I just joined this shit and think you're annoying as fuck.
What about me?
Why is he annoying?
Well, great question, Parker. Let's start there, Pat.
Why are you annoying?
Yes.
I don't know. Fucking watch your own life.
You think I'm annoying because I'm live streaming?
Yep, he's currently on the live too, so he must also be annoying.
Yeah, are you also annoying since you're technically also live streaming?
Yeah, I'm annoying as fuck.
Ailey, thank you for the $10 over on YouTube Super Chat. Cody, thank you for the $5 on Venmo. Maureen with the $5. Athelia with a 2. And then Sam, thank you so much for the 10. I appreciate that, you guys. Thank you so much for your incredibly kind donations. Pat, is there any other intellectual wisdom you want to add on here?
No, I really have nothing to say other than your pussy.
Pat, how elevated are you?
Always elevated.
Like how much? How much?
What do you mean how much?
On a scale of 1 to 10.
Right now, I'm just watching the fucking, Mets game. Really not elevated.
Really? That's
later. I plan to be.
Okay. The fact that you're not right now is fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's just my voice.
Bye, Pat.
No, it sounds like your brain functions.
Oh, what's up?
Fuck you, Parker. Fuck you, you dumb piece of shit. Get
Why?
out.
What's wrong with me? Why me? Why just me?
Your voice pisses me off.
What about my voice pisses you off?
I don't like you. Whatever.
What about my voice pisses you off?
Don't know, just something about it.
What about mine?
What about it?
What about my
Nah,
voice? Do I
nah,
piss
you're
you
a
off?
dickhead. Don't want to talk to you.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I'm so much of a dickhead that you don't want to talk to me. But Parker is just he's below
I'm
the
cool
threshold.
enough that he will talk to me. Let's go.
Yeah, dude.
So at least I'm cool enough. You know what I mean,
Dude,
So
well-
I'll take being sounding annoying over like you won't even talk to me.
These live streams just turn into therapy for really emotional men. Let it out, bro. Let us know. Come on. Okay, or don't.
Joe, is that it? Is that it? You're just gonna be what's wrong about my voice? Like, tell me, like, so,
No,
just so I can fix it. Oh, he left.
Dude, where are the Trump supporters that are willing to debate? Okay, bro. Okay, like it's funny. I get it. Somebody comes up here, they get all pissed, like "fuck you." Okay, like okay, it's funny, it's entertaining. But God, okay, just debate me, bro. Like, come on, what are we doing? Caddy, what's up? Do you support Trump? Chat, throw tomatoes at Caddy. Astro, do you support Trump? Chat, throw tomatoes. Oh fuck, I kicked him. Sorry. Gavin, do you support Trump?
Yes.
Oh, you were answering a question I was asking to Astro. Okay, Gavin, how old are you?
I'm 18.
What year were you born in?
2006.
What month?
August.
When did that mean that you'd be turning 18 in August? Wait, no, that would make you 18, right?
Yeah, he's
Yes.
turning 19.
Because August hasn't hit yet. He'd be turning 19. Okay, all right. Tell us why you support this train wreck of a presidency.
So I really like what he's doing in the Middle East.
Well, okay. What do you like?
Oh gosh.
What do you like? Tell us.
I just like that he's bombing the Houthis. And I know, listen, I know this sounds bad.
Houthis! Okay, listen. So, can we maybe agree that you might like that he's bombing the Houthis, but a president that didn't send America barreling towards recession, a president that didn't strip 66 million American women away from their rights, a president that didn't redistribute wealth from the poor to the rich and destroy the American economy, that doesn't bomb the Houthis in the Middle East is maybe preferable under your view?
Okay, but that's not why I like him.
Okay, so why do you like him? Tell us.
I just told you.
Well, basically what I'm saying is like, you're telling us that you don't care that the American economy is getting destroyed. You don't care that he's eroding the foundations of our democracy and sending America to a constitutional. He is.
Listen, do you want the U.S. to become the most powerful country in the world?
Isn't it currently?
More.
Do I
Oh,
want?
it already is. So like, what's your point?
China's gonna eventually overtake us.
I don't mind if our country becomes
If Trump's still president.
more powerful with with moral means, and then the people who have that power are doing good things with it. Now, is that realistic in this world? Maybe, maybe not. But I don't see how that question relates to what I asked you. You know, you're telling us that
Galaxy.
you support Trump because he's killing people in the Middle East. Okay, well, can we agree that if he wasn't killing people in the Middle East, but he also wasn't destroying the American economy, and he's actually helping out the average American, he wasn't redistributing wealth from the poor to the rich, and he wasn't stripping American women away from their rights and sending our country into a constitutional crisis, that it'd be better?
To be fair, he did nothing against women's rights. And I know you're gonna bring up
What?
Let me talk though. Okay. I know you're gonna bring up about the abortion thing that he pressured Congress to pass.
But it has nothing to do with Congress. It has everything to do with the Supreme Court. He put people in the Supreme Court with the explicit reason of overturning Roe versus Wade. He knew that was going to happen. He absolutely did take away women's rights in this country as they were federally protected prior.
Yeah, and he like parades it too. Like he boasts about it. He's like, "Oh, that was me. That was all me. I did that. That was me."
He put the justices on the Supreme Court, yes. But the thing is that those justices are turning on him right now. So why would he put them up there if they are against him?
He probably didn't expect
He didn't
them.
know that they were against him.
He probably didn't expect them to start ruling against him in the future, yeah. But at the end of the day, he did put those justices on the court with the explicit purpose of overturning Roe v. Wade. He said that before they were nominated. And then once they're nominated, he was like, oh my God, I can't wait for them to overturn Roe v. Wade. That's why I put them in those positions. And then when they did overturn Roe v. Wade, he was like, that's my fault. I did that. That's my accomplishment. Praise me for taking away women's rights. Like the argument that he's not directly responsible for 66 million American women not having access to elective abortions and the 60 pregnant great victims per day that are denied access in 10 of our states is a delusion that even Trump denies. He thinks he's responsible too.
All right, well, listen, I didn't come up here to debate about abortion and women's rights.
Okay, well then don't make false claims about abortion and women's rights as it relates to Trump.
All right, do you mind if I pivot?
Yeah, I don't mind.
Okay. So with the Middle East, I believe that we should completely obliterate the Houthis and Hamas.
Okay, so here's my thing. You think that we should just kill more people in the Middle East? I think that like you're going to be able to get like embarrassed by people that are much more knowledgeable on like for instance the Houthis and Hamas than I am. I think like the best response I could give you is that's like really like weird and like it's gonna entail the death of innocent people and definitely war crimes too. And I think when we've seen the same sentiment preached by like Israel, for example, they say that they just want to eliminate Hamas, but then they also end up killing 56,000 innocent Palestinians. And then also this just doesn't really relate much to Trump's presidency. You know, like I'm giving you very like clear and distinct reasons why it is the case that he's a bad president, you know, such as the idea that he's redistributing wealth from the poor to the rich. He's sending America into a constitutional crisis. He's distancing ourselves from our allies. He's stagnating economic growth in this country. And I think that, you know, all of these things are really bad and, you know, like probably outweigh like his 2 attacks on the Houthis in the Middle East, even if you think that's a good thing.
Well, you're arguing that the Houthis are innocent because you said he's going to kill innocent people.
Okay, so you just didn't take a single thing away from what I said.
Yeah, because you're pivoting. You're talking about how he's ruining our economy, supposedly, but I'm not talking about that.
I'm talking about like a trade on and trade off. And I think I made that very clear. Chat, did I make that clear or am I like unclear in what my argument is? Like, is he being good faith and I just seriously gave an unclear stance that was pivoting and ignoring what he said? Or did I make myself clear?
Hay said no.
Okay, so it looks like the general consensus is that I made myself clear. Like, what would you prefer more Houthis die or the American economy grow and transpire and we don't redistribute wealth from the poor to the rich? Which one?
I would like our economy to grow.
So which one's preferable? More Houthis dying or there not being a wealth redistribution from the poor to the rich, decreasing the after-tax income for 80% of Americans?
Okay, well, here's what you don't understand. In capitalism, you have to have poor people to balance it out.
Bro, you're making a horrible argument. You saying that like people should be poor under your view, right?
Yes.
Right, purposefully as a product of the United States government is a disgusting. That's actually like a disgusting fucking thing for you to say. Capitalism doesn't require that in order to be able to produce things effectively, right? There can be a mutually beneficial voluntary exchange of goods even without the exploitation of people. You're essentially arguing that we need an underclass of people in which are exploited or enslaved and or are literally genocided at mass in order to be able to have profitability, which I just don't see as the case.
I did not say slaves and I did not say genocide, and I saw the vape.
I don't vape.
That's an anxiety pen. It's an anxiety pen, Gavin.
So Gavin, are you gonna give us like anything of substance here? Or are you just gonna say like, oh, like we need poor people and to kill Houthis, and I'm not gonna engage in anything that Dean is saying?
I'm telling you that this is why I like him. What would you like me to engage in?
Okay.
I'll argue.
I gave you multiple opportunities. At this point, I'm going to choose peace. I don't know. I think that I've kind of realized in like the last week or two that like when I just have a guest that is like being purposefully dense, not willing to like hear me out for what I have to say, that it's best fit for us just to move on. Because when I don't do that, I end up like getting very like stressed out, and I end up getting like actual migraines and headaches. What's up, Bandy? Do you support Trump?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, how old are you?
I'm 18. I was born in July 26, 2006.
Cool. Are you driving?
No, I'm in the passenger seat.
Okay, Brady, take it away. Tell us why you support this train wreck of a president, Mr. Donald Trump. Dipey Don. Okay, take it away.
Oh, I support him because he's way better than the Kamala bitch. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh wow! So
Don't
just
refer
straight
to
to
fucking
calling
women that way, you disgusting piece of shit.
Oh my god!
man,
You
I
know
just-
the accepting
just
for
have-
women isn't gonna make him want you
Man,
more.
I
You know that, right, buddy?
I just have a quick question, man. How would you feel if I called your mom a bitch?
I don't really care.
Oh, fucking hell, bro! Holy shit! I was gonna
What a
expect you to
fucking
be like a
weirdo.
half decent son and be like, man, I wouldn't feel good if you called my mother a bitch. Okay, and then I was gonna use that as an educational moment of being like, okay, well, I wouldn't feel good if you called my mom a bitch either. Okay, well, a lot of women are moms, including Kamala Harris. She's a stepmom, so maybe we just shouldn't call any women a bitch. But no, you just said I wouldn't give a shit. Call my mom a bitch. Okay, so yeah, Brady, you're what I refer to as an incel. Let me diagnose you. I think growing up, you didn't get enough attention from women. Maybe the reason is because you're just a complete POS. Okay, they don't want to give you attention, and then this isolated you from your perspective of the world. You looked at them as if they were the bad guy because you decided to only shower once every 3 weeks, and now you take this out as anger and resentment against women, and that's you're like, women? Oh, you mean bitches? You know what I mean? Oh my god, and it's terrible. Like seriously, do better, man. Like bro, like this is like if we are ever to use the terms alpha and beta in a non-ironic, literal, true sense, the only acceptability I'd be willing to employ is to call you a fucking beta, okay? And I mean that. What's your thoughts?
Nah. You're right. You're the real Sigma here, right?
No, I like I said, I don't think I'd use the term sigma or alpha
I
in
wouldn't
like
really
an unironic sense, but I would use the term beta as it refers to people like you. I'd say that unironically. Yeah, you're beta. You know, like grow up, dude. Be a
Would
better
you refer
guy.
to Donald Trump as a dick, right? Like, I'm sure you think he's a dickhead, right?
Is he absolutely?
Well, then that's why kind of the same point of why I call Kamala a bitch. I think she's a bitch.
Okay. Well, like
He's fucking gross.
the term dickhead hasn't been used to like further oppress, demean, and ostracize men from achieving better and greater things and breaking through a glass ceiling that never existed, because it's been the men in which have controlled the glass ceiling placed upon women and use terms like bitch to demean, berate, and oppress. You know, so I think there's a big difference. And then also, I don't think that Kamala Harris would be a bitch under any definition. And I'm just in, the voice in my ear. Apparently you have reposts about women leaving you.
Huh?
You have reposts about women leaving you?
Probably.
Guess what I would have done if I was them? I would have left you too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kept calling her a bitch. I'm not gonna lie.
Bandy, maybe that's the reason. Maybe 1 second you should critically think about it. But like maybe it's the case that the reason, like why you're being left, is because you treat them horribly, or you don't
fuck
treat
that
them.
bitch.
Yeah, you're a fucking horrible
1
person,
second.
and you deserve to literally be living alone for the rest of your life.
Wait. 1 second. 1 second. I'm sorry. We got to take a look at Brady.
Bandy, his name is Bandy.
Brady, Bandy, tomato. Who gives a fuck? 1 second. Okay, don't leave. Don't run away. I need you to hang out with us for
Bandy. But before you leave, I just have a question. In any
don't
of
leave.
your
Don't
dating,
leave after you answer Parker's question.
in any of your dating profiles, do you have like a picture of you holding up a fish?
No.
Okay. Were you in a frat?
He didn't go to college. No.
I think college is a scam, to be honest with you.
Right,
Okay.
yeah,
okay.
obvious.
So do you follow Charlie Kirk?
No, I honestly don't really support him like you would think I do, because I think he's really biased.
Who do you listen to on the internet? Nick Fuentes?
Nick Fuentes sent your tape.
Nah, not really. I don't really like him either. I think he's an extremist.
Okay. All right. Well, who do you follow?
I kind of just get my own interpretation from it, man. I don't really have to follow them to.
He gets his own interpretation. Okay.
You got that in your spank bank.
My name's Brady. I think all women are bitches. Yeah, that's gonna tell him. Holy shit, dude. All right, I'm sorry, bro. I'm actually not sorry. at
Yeah,
all.
no, it's all right.
So how about this? Why hold so much disdain for Kamala Harris? Do you have reasons?
Yeah, I don't like the way she disrespects. Like whenever people were chanting like Jesus was king or something like that, she was like, "Yeah, at the wrong rally and all that."
You're Christian. Where in the Bible, in the Christian Bible, does it say call women bitches?
I'm not a perfect Christian, but I really don't like her. She's a bitch.
Oh, okay. So if Jesus,
So wait,
if Jesus
would Jesus tell you to say that?
Yeah, if Jesus were standing in front of you right now, and you said, Jesus, is it morally acceptable for me to call women that I don't like bitches? What do you think he'd say?
Probably wouldn't like it, but I mean, we all do mess up, I guess. I don't really.
Are
know.
you? But like, why do you continually, intentionally keep doing it?
Because I don't care.
Because, yeah, exactly. So then you don't care about what Jesus wants you to do.
About what, like, I mean, I'm an agnostic, but you're a Christian, so you actually believe Jesus Christ is God. You do understand that you just told us that you
I
don't
believe
care.
Jesus is the Son of God,
You just told us that you don't care what a perfect, all-knowing, all-good, infinite God has to say.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. He thinks dude, I can't.
My name's Brady. I don't care if you're an all-good, infinite, all-knowing, perfect
wait,
God.
let's go back to this.
My name's Brady. Guess what? I don't.
Harry didn't like him either.
I don't care if
treated
you
women
think it's
bad.
wrong
What
for me
about-
to call women bitches. They've just left me so many times.
What
I
about your
have
friend-
to.
what about your friend
I
Harry?
have to call women bitches, God, and I don't care what you have to say, God, because now my name's Brady.
What about your good friend Harry?
Yeah, we're not friends with Harry. And you want to know why? It's because we actually think that we should be treating the other the people in this world with basic human decency, and we uphold standards as it relates to who
But
I
you dick rode
surround
him for, like,
myself
months,
with.
maybe even years. You dick rode him for a long time.
I was great buddies with Harry for a long time. You were right. It's because I thought that me and him were on the same page. Turned out we weren't.
Do you fuck with the autistic kids too? Like his old, what was it? The dude that he worked for? That dude was fucking with an autistic 15-year-old or something like that?
So I'm actually unwilling to tell you what I've done as it relates to that. I was about to go into a lot, but I'll reserve that. I don't know if I should say that on live. We're gonna go ahead and move on to the next guest, everybody. What's up, JERA? Do you support Trump? JERA is not here. Oh, hi. Are you MAGA?
JERA is here. Yeah. No, I wouldn't say I'm MAGA.
Do you support Trump?
I think he is the better candidate out of Kamala and him. Yeah.
Kamala. Why so?
Kamala.
So why is Donald Trump a better candidate than Kamala Harris?
Why does it bother you so much when someone pronounces her name wrong?
Because I just think you should pronounce it correctly, and I'm just giving you a way to pronounce it correctly. It's not very
Think I did
difficult.
that on purpose?
If you didn't do it on purpose, I was just providing you the way to do it correctly.
yeah, I
so
think that a lot
you
of-
can do it correctly if you do so.
I think that a lot of people could do it unintentionally. Like I know I did for a long
Yeah, that
time.
was definitely
Yeah,
unintentional.
if it was,
I
just pronounce it
understand.
right or
That's
call
why
it by
I
your
told
last
you to
name.
do it
We'll be
correctly.
good. Yeah, good.
I wasn't rude to you. I was simply just correcting it.
My main question for you guys is: do you think your guys are making any like impact when you're like this condescending, like to the gentleman who was
I
just
don't
here?
think I'm being condescending to you. Would you like to have a
No,
conversation
not
with
to
me?
me. Not
To like the last guy, like Brady.
Yeah, to Brady.
Oh no, I'll be honest. There was like absolutely like no greater impact beyond just bullying a bully. And
So,
like,
like,
I think that my streams can offer diversity of content, right? You know, like this is supposed to be a space where like we have intellectual conversations with people. We explore like greater truth, and we try to reason, out of the cult-like behaviors we see in so many millions of Americans. That's why I do this. But I definitely do give like the same energy to guests that they give me, or like they give in his circumstance women. He comes up here, 5 IQ, women are bitches. I'm going to defend it to the end, even my God says it's bad. I'm going to bully him. I honestly, I feel fine in doing that. Can you tell me why that was a bad thing for me to do?
Sure. I don't think so. Someone with your platform, I respect what you've done. You've gotten to where you've gotten, and I think you could really make a difference with the people you disagree with if you'd have a little bit of different of an approach.
Oh,
Maybe
not
show
with
a little-
him. Not with him, dude. Are you a Christian like he was?
I am, yes.
Okay, would you say that like Jesus had the perfect approach at trying to make a difference?
I would say yes.
Okay, well, even that last guy, he thought Jesus was God too. He said that not even Jesus could change his mind. Like there was no ability to reason a difference with Brady.
I didn't quite hear that part, if that's exactly what he said, but
He did say that.
obviously I would disagree with that. He doesn't. He's probably so here's my point, though. He's a little bit uneducated.
Just set in his ways. He's not going to change his mind. He comes up here bullying women.
Well,
I'm
he's a
gonna,
young
I'm
kid.
gonna bully him for
Yeah.
5 minutes and move on.
Parker and Dean. Dean, you have been under fire for a lot of stuff in the past, right? Stuff you've said. You've grown as a young man, right?
And honestly, if I held the same attitudes which Brady held and demonstrated, I wish somebody would have treated me the same way I treated Brady.
Yeah, but do you think that's an effective approach to get him to actually change his mind? I wouldn't agree with that.
I don't think that there is such a thing as an effective approach to get Brady to change his mind.
Yeah.
Tough love.
That's what I was going to say is like, I understand what you're saying in terms of typical conversations. And if you see the typical conversations that Dean and I would have if we were to go and like see people in person in real life, right? It's going to be different than what we're going to have in these types of contexts because these particular individual circumstances, like for example, Brady, right? He is not willing to engage in changing his mind, right? So it's very clear that we're just trying to, right, show him that, and show the chat that he's very ridiculous, right? And that's what we're doing in the lives when he was there, right? Other than that, there's no way we could have changed his mind in any meaningful way, and that's why he got kicked.
And then also, like, I want to point it out, like, what do people on the right have to say when somebody like me is like, like when I explain the reasons why it's like wrong to call women bitches, I explain like the historicity behind the usage of the term and like why it's something that we shouldn't do. Okay, well, like people on the right look at that and say, oh, this dude is so fucking soy, I'm never going to listen to a single thing that he ever has to say ever again. So I'd actually argue that it's more effective to just like bully the fuck out of him, all right? Give some explanation why using that term is wrong. But for the most part, when he rejects that, make fun of his ass and kick him and move on with my day. I'd say that is a better approach that will be better received by everybody compared to taking like a gentler approach. But yeah, man, let's talk about why you think that Donald Trump is a good president, because I don't want to spend any more time talking about Brady.
It's not so much Brady. I'm to be quite honest, like, yeah, I thought Trump was a better candidate, but I am more like, I'm in the lane of trying to unite people. Do you think unity is possible between Democrats and Republicans?
Right now, no. But in the future, I hope that it's made possible through conversations like the ones that I want to have on this live stream.
Yeah, so for some reason, though, like what I see a lot with you guys is more, and the Nick Fuenteses, all this rage bait.
Great, I gave you 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes to talk about your critiques of us, but I want to hear why you support Donald Trump or why you think that he's a better president than Kamala Harris would have been if she won the election.
Okay, so Donald Trump, he's a better president overall because everything. Kamala, is that how I say it?
Yeah.
Just want to make sure we don't upset anyone. So Kamala's like approach on the border by itself was a big issue, and I know you guys. I've heard a couple of your refutes on it, but I'm open to hear it. But everything that Biden was doing with the border, it was very ridiculous, crazy. I know Trump kind of has like an extreme response to it right now, but he's at least maintaining or some type of order. And
Can you be specific with any policy you're referencing of Trump's for immigration that you like?
Or like, I think even a better question would be, you're telling us that what Biden did with the border was ridiculous. Okay, what did Biden do with the southern border that you thought was just terrible?
The fact that millions were coming across every month.
Okay, well, I need you to clarify how Biden caused that. Like, what policies did he push through Congress? What executive orders did he pass? What policies did he repeal? What EOs did he repeal? Like, what was the action which he did that caused that?
So here's my thing. When you guys are having these conversations with people, the gotcha moments of like naming a specific policy, I don't think that's an effective way to get your point across to people who these
aren't gotchas. These are how we understand you, so we can actually have a dialogue with you. If I don't understand your position, if I don't know what you're specifically supporting, well, then I can't respond to your particular position. You thinking that it's a gotcha, right, actually just shows me you've done no research. You have no clue what you're talking about, and it's the exact reason why this needs to be called out
you're
on a live
asking
in front
about
of people.
Policy.
Right.
This is very productive because it is the case that it shows that you didn't look at
Were
the facts prior,
millions
and that
coming
you do
through
need to
or
look
not
into it.
under the Biden
And
administration?
I just want to like kind of
Were
drive
millions
home.
coming through or not?
So before you ask that again, I want to drive home the point that Parker was just saying by giving you like the equivalent argument that a liberal might make, that a liberal without a lot of education might make. Like for instance, you're just saying what happened under their terms, so you're going to blame on him. It was his fault. They probably had some policy that caused it. Okay. Well, what if like an uneducated liberal was like, well, under Donald Trump's first term in April of 2020, we had the highest level of unemployment since the Great Depression in the last 100 years. Happened under Trump's presidency. Trump must have caused it. Now, this means that Trump had unemployment policy and he was very bad for the economy. He was just as bad for the economy as the Great Depression because he caused the highest level of unemployment since it. You know, like what would your response be in that circumstance? Okay, well, while he's looking up the answer, we'll find somebody to debate alongside him. If you're MAGA, let us know down below. We'll get you up on the stream. We're going to go and load that next guest in as we speak, everyone. Just give us a minute here.
Remain in Mexico.
Boom, he repealed the...
Remain in Mexico. So the asylum process that you're referencing, that's referencing a legal process, all right, of immigration. You're not referencing any undocumented immigrants. Now, for the people you're referencing in terms of seeking asylum, like having to remain in Mexico, right? If people are seeking asylum from Mexico, where should they stay while they're seeking asylum?
Well, Jay, unless you could see us, we can't hear you. And Micah, what's up? How old are you? Micah's not even
19.
Here. Oh, 19. Do you support Trump?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Sounds good. Jay, ERA, do you have a response to what Parker said there?
Is my microphone working?
So your microphone will only work if you're on the TikTok app and you could see us.
Okay. My question was, where do you think they should be going then? Where do you think they should be going? Do you think they should be going to sanctuary cities in America?
Like asylum seekers? Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
I mean, I don't even think well, actually, let me clarify. I don't like the idea of sanctuary cities because I wish that asylum seekers and refugees could be accepted in any city. The only reason that sanctuary cities exist is as a reaction to Republican legislators, governors, and state officials, state and local officials, that like uphold like 75% of the land of this country that don't allow refugees or asylum seekers to have just treatment, right? So I wish that they could go anywhere and receive just treatment. Now,
but it's I think the problem is that
I'd also like to point out that less than like 2% of immigrants are asylum seekers. So how would him reversing the Remain in Mexico policy cause millions of undocumented immigrants that are not here on asylum to enter into America?
I think a big issue was the asylum seekers. That's what a lot of, Republicans at least, and I don't identify as Republican or Democrat, but I think a big issue with the Republicans was all the asylum seekers flooding the cities and then the crime spiking and everything else.
If you wanted to actually deal with the asylum process, do you have any bill to deal with the asylum process to make it go quicker? No, he didn't. He actually undermined a bill that specifically would have done that. The bill that you're referencing is subject to the critique that I provided, that people who are seeking asylum from Mexico would have to stay in Mexico while they're seeking asylum, which defeats the entire process of the asylum, entire phase of the asylum process.
Shouldn't Mexico be responsible for how they wait in?
Yeah, once again, you just left the app and we can't hear you. But once you respond to Parker, I'll just refute the entirety of your position. So respond to Parker and then I'll refute you.
I just got I had a phone call there, so I didn't hear the last 30, like maybe 20 seconds there. Someone called me, I had to reject it. What I was saying was, what do you think Mexico should be? What I would say is Mexico should be more responsible for their people waiting to come here, rather than us being responsible for them to come here.
Okay,
it's their people.
So
you could say that, but the process of seeking asylum is so that they could do that. Sorry, Dino.
No worries at all. No worries at all. So, okay, there's a couple things that you're just not understanding that I want to make clear. First and foremost, you said that asylum seekers increase per capita crime rates. Just like legal immigrants and undocumented immigrants, that is not true. They actually have lower crime rates on average compared to natural U.S.-born citizens, so that was a lie. And then second of all, there is a lot of pressure points as it relates to asylum seekers in sanctuary cities. I don't think that the appropriate way of resolving that issue is to just tell asylum seekers that they have to remain outside of America while their claim is processing, as that will just generate no harm and not fix the root issue. I think the way that we could fix the root issue is by decreasing the time that it takes for an asylum seeker to get their claim processed through their court. A lot of the pressure points with asylum seekers is the fact that while their claim is processing, they cannot legally work. And that is why we see cities offering them food, offering them expenditures, offering them a place to stay, because if they didn't, then they would starve on the streets. So how about we just reduce the amount of time that it takes for the claims to process, increase the amount of work visas offered to asylum seekers, and allow them to get the same level of treatment anywhere in America, not just large, typically less metropolitan areas. Then all of a sudden, the interests and the needs of the asylum seekers are met, and your concerns are mulled over.
All right. Give him a second. In the meantime, everyone like the stream.
Sorry, guys. It keeps, I don't know. This is my first time doing this. My question is, what do we do with the 2% then? Right? If your family was a part of that 2% crime, you would be affected. And a lot of these, obviously the media is going to focus on that. So what we're seeing a lot of is the 2% of crime. So when you say a statistic quickly that says, well, that's really only 2% that's being violent and, graping and this and that. But
so it's actually not what I said at all. So asylum seekers are less likely than you to commit violent crimes.
Yeah, whatever it was. Sorry, I'm not trying to misquote you. But
multiple times less likely.
Okay, but it still happens, right? And that's what's being focused on. So what would you recommend be done for the violent crime? What about the stuff that is
for
happening?
sure. I think that the solutions I offered can even further reduce the crime rates of asylum seekers, which would be to approve them for work visas the moment they step foot on American soil, and expedite the time in which it would take for their asylum claim to be granted. Now you tell me what we do about the crimes committed by citizens, maybe citizens like Trump, a 34-count felon, adjudicated rapist. What you did about it is you empowered him and put him in the most powerful position available to humans.
I didn't empower him, but anyway.
You told him you support him, you voted for him, you empower him, yeah?
I actually didn't vote this time around. I lean more towards.
So you still support, you still empower him? Okay. Well,
So,
listen, I
but
guess aside that you're denying the part of my
No,
crime in which you're
cartel is
empowering.
coming, correct? Cartel comes through no matter what. They already have bad intent. A work visa isn't going to help that person who's already violent and has ill intent that wants to cross over. Yes, I don't care if it's 0.5%.
Wait, cartel?
Anybody, all I'm saying is any type of
What's your reason to mention the cartel? Unmute your mic. Where's the cartel come into this? Hello?
Sorry, dude, this thing keeps muting. Cartel was an extreme example. I'm just saying, like, people who are violent, right? People who are already criminals, who are coming with ill intent. Even if it's 0.001%, that it's still happening. There are still families being impacted. And if it was your family,
if you care so much about crime, how come you support a criminal that's president? Like, I just seriously, I just want to recognize the hypocrisy in your fucking view. It's like you act like you care about so much crime, regardless on the level in which it presides in. Wouldn't you agree that a criminal like running the country is significantly more important than like a criminal being an asylum seeker?
Listen, I'm a grown man. I know you're still young. I'm respecting you. Don't cuss at me. I won't cuss at you. All right.
I don't think that the use of cuss words is inherently disrespectful.
Okay, I do. So I'm asking for you not to cuss to me. If you don't want to respect that, that's up to you.
I won't use words like fucking shit when I'm talking to you. I got
Great,
you.
beautiful. So my point still stands, right? I'm showing you respect. Respect me. You're naming stuff that he did that.
Never mind. I kicked you because Parker texted me and told me that you have weird videos. I'll just trust what Parker said.
I mean, definitely a first for someone I've seen in terms of the page, the ones that were on the the page.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just gonna trust you, man. Coral, thank you for the $10 over on YouTube Super Chat. Vic, thank you for the 5. Jonah with a 5. Skyhawks with the $2 Australian. I really appreciate you guys so much for the love over there on Super Chat. I would also like to quickly say thank you to Nicole for the $5 on Venmo saying owning the MAGA. I'll never stop. Thank you, Nicole. Teresa with a $5 saying longtime listener, first time supporter. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Teresa. Megan with a $5. Nicole with $10. Thank you so much. Batista with a $5. Cody with a $5. Shout out to Cody's girlfriend, Maddie. Hopefully you're still watching. Maureen with a $5. And then Sam with the $10. I do really appreciate you guys so much for the love over on Venmo. And I'd also like to show some love to James for the $10 over on PayPal and Caitlin with the $5 on PayPal as well. Welcome in, Danny. Do you support Trump? Doesn't even look like Danny's here. Moving on to the next guest. We got Andrew loading up in here, y'all. Everyone just give us a minute. Andrew's loading into the box as we speak. What's up, Andrew? Do you support Trump? That's a child. Cool Red Knight 55 is connecting. If you're watching and you'd like to support me, you can find my Venmo, my PayPal, and the link tree in my bio. If you're watching on TikTok or in the pinned message over on the YouTube stream, I get 100% of the proceeds on those platforms. What's up, Cool Red Knight? You MAGA?
Yes, I am.
Okay, how old are you?
I'm 21. I was born on.
Dean, did you ever get your DNC Dean account back?
I did actually. Yeah, I got it back this morning.
Okay, but first of all, I have a question for Parker. So, Parker, so you said that Elon Musk was doing the Schnazi salute. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
So, then why do you have a picture of yourself doing the Schnazi salute on the internet? And I could show it to you right now.
Yeah. Go ahead. And then the one posted by older millennial. Yeah. So that one, there's either two explanations, because when I first saw this, I was confused as well. It's either that one, it's just a random picture taken out of context, right? Or it is the case that it was edited. To me, the picture looks edited because of under my arm, like it looks like very incredibly blurry, right under the arm specifically. But yeah, I've never intentionally done that. Specifically, Elon Musk, you can see intentionally he literally did specifically right in that scenario. Whereas, for example, like there are scenarios with Donald Trump, Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, where they put their arms up like that in that particular setting, and people take that out of context.
Okay, well then, don't you think that you guys took Elon Musk's video out of context with this? Like, how do you know he really intended to do the Schnazi salute? Like, you can't really tell.
It twice. He did it twice, and I also have on my Twitter, I can tell you right now, specifically him giving his heart out to the crowd in other scenarios was like this. He went like this.
Okay, let me just explain something to you, because obviously you guys don't know how this works.
Can I offer an alternative position? So like this is like the first thing I said when I saw Elon Musk do this. In fact, I even made a video about this. You could probably find it somewhere on my page. And this is like the messaging that I wish the left would pick up around that. You know, because like you and other Trump supporters are going to be able to deny all day long that he didn't intentionally throw it up. So like here's the better take, I think. Regardless of his intention, he did do the Nazi salute. And following him doing the Nazi salute, instead of saying that was wrong, that was bad, and absolutely, diminishing and outcasting the people that took that and used it to embolden alt-right fascist movements in America today, he instead turned around and made lighthearted jokes about it, saying he did the thing that he didn't mean to do. So the material outcome of his action, predicated not only on him throwing the salute, but his response of making a lighthearted joke by saying he did the thing people didn't want him to do, absolutely emboldens alt-right fascism in America today. And his lack of response, and Donald Trump's lack of a response to condemning it, right, to saying that alt-right fascism is bad, and outcasting the people that use that as a new symbol of their movement, they decided to do what I described. So that's why I think that was wrong.
Okay, I mean, I hear what you're saying. Okay, like it did look bad when you watched it and everything. But I'm just saying though, is that when going back to what I explained, with what Parker did and that. Yeah, you can say.
We also don't have a video of what Parker did, and on top of that, Parker hasn't notoriously donated millions of dollars to the alt-right German movement AfD that wants to uphold quote unquote traditional German values, right?
Okay, yeah, and what I was gonna be saying before is that you guys do realize that I want to explain something that Elon
Oh,
Musk.
and Parker also doesn't follow Nazi Twitter accounts. You know, that's one of the weirdest things about Elon that nobody talks about enough is he follows Nazi Twitter accounts, okay? And the only reason I know this, right, isn't because I've seen the headlines. It's because for whatever reason, Nazis on Twitter love to respond to my posts. And every so often, I'll click through these accounts. And yesterday, I clicked on one of these Nazis' account. Every single post was about how bad everybody but white people are. And guess what? It said followed by Elon Musk. Okay, so he follows Nazis on Twitter. He supported AfD in Germany. And he threw the Roman salute twice and made a joke about how he did the thing that others didn't want him to do. I'd say we have a pretty compelling argument here.
Okay, now, okay, but what I'm saying is, Parker, like, what could you have possibly done with your arm, with your like right or left arm that you just like straight up, you did the exact salute?
Yeah, that's exactly why I lean towards the idea that I think that it's edited. I seriously don't know, and that's why it caught me by surprise when I first saw the picture as well. Right, like I genuinely didn't even think it was me.
Well, because I was
So,
surprised too, because it seems to me that the way you did it is even way worse than what Elon Musk did it.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, because okay, let me explain something. This is what I was going to go. Elon
So
Musk.
I'm just unconvinced that you actually give a shit because you're defending Elon Musk.
No, but I'm just calling out Parker's hypocrisy for saying that.
I've given you 5 reasons why it's not hypocritical. The first reason is it's likely, or at least probable, that that image was edited. The second reason is Elon Musk follows straight up Nazis on Twitter. Parker doesn't. The third reason is it was Elon Musk that supported the alt-right movement in Germany, AfD, that wants to uphold traditional values and encompass literal Nazis and donated $1 million to them. That's not something Parker has done. And then the fifth reason would be is that like Parker, like if that is something that he did, Parker doesn't say, "Oh, like that was so cool, ha ha ha, funny, funny, funny." Unlike Elon Musk, who said, he did the thing that other people didn't want him to do." So those are the 5 reasons why Parker's not a hypocrite. Let me guess, you're gonna ignore them and you're gonna go right back to calling Parker hypocrite. I'm gonna yawn. Everybody listening is gonna spam kick in the chat, and like nobody here is gonna have a good time. Is that what we're gonna do?
Okay, well, let me ask you. Okay, if you don't mind, because I haven't actually heard about him following like these like Schnazi like Twitter accounts. Can you show me evidence that he actually did that?
that would require me like knowing the handle of the Nazis on Twitter or following them myself. I'm not going to invest like 30 minutes to do the investigative work to find the account right now. Maybe I'll do it overnight and I'll have the.
Wait, now, Parker, what could now?
How about we stop talking about like that and you tell us?
We also talk about his support for AfD as well, but
yeah, I brought that up as well. So do you want to tell us why you support Trump as president?
Wait, what? Yes, I do.
Okay, so go into that. Why do you support Trump as president?
Mostly because of immigration, because there's less illegal crossings that are coming over the southern border. So
okay,
that's kind of.
So do you support his mass deportation?
Yes, I do.
Okay, name one way that undocumented immigrants in America hurt the American economy.
Like, wait, can you say that one more time?
Name one way that undocumented immigrants hurt the economy.
Well, I don't really have an answer for that specifically, but I can tell you that I support him because.
So then, could you just tell me one way that undocumented immigrants in America hurt America in general?
Because I don't want illegals into our country.
That's not answering my question because I asked you a question about how they hurt the country, right? Like you just not wanting them here. That's not a valid response to the question.
No, because why would you? No, because you're kind of pivoting over to the economy when I'm.
No. I asked you about the economy first. When you said that you didn't have a good response, then I asked you about the country as a whole. Can you just qualify one way that undocumented immigrants serve as a net detriment to this country?
Because they've broken our immigration laws.
Okay, so breaking the law is always bad.
Yes.
Okay, so if there were 2 gay men that tried to get married before 2009, that would have been bad. Or like during American slavery, it was a legal obligation that individuals had to return escaped enslaved individuals to their captors. If they didn't, and they did so knowingly, they would have broken the law. Would you say it would have been morally wrong to not forcefully return an enslaved individual to their captor during American slavery?
Yes.
Okay, so that's why maybe you're also a Nazi, right? Only a Nazi would say that it's morally wrong to not forcefully return an enslaved individual to their encaptor, right? Are you also a Nazi?
No.
Well, actually, how about we go there too? You know, it was also the law that like Nazi soldiers during World War II in Germany had to facilitate the command of like Hitler. So when the war was coming to an end, and Hitler started expediting the final plan or whatever, the final experiment, and he started having his foot soldiers kill all the Jewish people they could find. If a foot soldier didn't do that, they would have been breaking the law, their legal obligation. Would that foot soldier have been doing something wrong?
Yes.
Okay, so you are
And
Nazi,
I don't.
sure.
I
Because
don't
only
think-
Nazis,
Okay.
only Nazis think that people are doing something wrong by not killing Jewish people. Right? That's a Nazi thing to say. Are we laughing at that? Because I'm not laughing at that.
No, I'm just saying those. Why are you trying to pivot? We're talking.
I'm sorry. Is that after you just ran that argument against me? There's no fucking way, bro. There's no fucking way.
No, because dude, you have
you
a
disingenuous piece of shit. What the fuck are you talking about?
because you have a pic. We have a picture of you.
You literally just
with your
said
hand.
that it would be wrong if they didn't slaughter Jewish people. What are you talking about?
You want to explain that view for us?
No.
Well, I want you to. Why don't you go ahead and explain that view? Why do you think that
'cause you're-
it would
no,
have been
'cause you're
wrong if
pretty-
Nazis didn't kill Jewish people?
Well, I'm sorry that we don't. That we on the Republican side don't like criminals, and you guys do. But
You voted for a criminal, a convicted criminal, held civilly liable of sexual abuse, that released violent criminals in the country by pardoning them. What are you talking about?
Before we get there, can you defend the view? Tell us why you think it would have been wrong not to kill Jewish people. I don't know, like, I'm the only one that's like, holy fuck, we need to slow down and pause and ask this guy why he thinks this. But that's definitely what's going through my head. Like, that was a big thing to say, right? I want you to explain it. Tell us why you think it would have been wrong if Nazis didn't kill Jewish people.
I need an anxiety pen.
Sorry, can you answer that question again? Can you ask that question again?
Okay, well, yeah, I'll ask it again because you're dumb and you didn't listen the first 9 times, but Nazis are dumb. They really are. I'll ask it a 10th time, don't worry. My question is very simple. You said that it would have been wrong if the Nazis didn't kill the Jewish individuals. Why?
Because it was just the time. It was just the time.
The time said that it would, that because of the time, if they didn't do a genocide, it would have been bad. You sound insane.
Dude, you're just pivoting all the way like freaking like.
I don't think that like, I don't think so.
Okay, well, can we actually get back to like the present time with Trump and immigration and stuff like that, and not like?
No, tell us a little bit about the time and why it would have been wrong not to do a genocide. So the Allied forces in World War II, right, stopped them from trying to do their genocide, or at least more. They tried to prevent it as much as they could, right, towards the end of the war when we were involved on the European front, okay? Right? Was that bad for the Allied forces to do since they were trying to stop the genocide and you said it was wrong to stop the genocide?
Yeah, I already explained that. I don't know
So
why
you
want me to
didn't
explain it.
support, right, like Russia, America, and so on, like stopping the Holocaust. You thought the Holocaust should have continued?
Yeah.
What's your full name?
I'm not giving that name on TikTok.
Why not?
I'm
Why
not
not?
stupid.
What?
I'm
No,
not
come, please, please, please,
Okay,
no,
then
please. What's your full name? Please.
I need your full name, social security number. I need your credit card number
What's-
with the 3 digits on the back, the expiration date. I need your street address. I need the school you went to in elementary, middle school, high school. Actually, I don't even know if you went to high school. But I just need all of that information right now. Give it to me.
So, do you classify yourself as a neo-Nazi?
No. I'm just a Trump supporter.
So what's the difference between you and a neo-Nazi?
What's the difference between me and a neo-Nazi?
Yeah.
I don't really I'm not going to classify myself as a Nazi.
All right. Okay. Neither do I.
No, it's just
I
that he doesn't classify himself. That's the only distinction.
So the only difference is that you don't accept that label. It's not that like You were against it?
Yeah.
Vote to kick. I vote to kick. Thank you. Oh, you know that. I really
I
appreciate
kicked
that.
before you voted to
I
kick.
vote to kick. I vote to kick.
No,
Like,
come
he's
on.
insane.
Come on. Yeah, no. Goodbye, Nazi.
That's so fucking crazy.
Come on. Yeah, no. Goodbye.
There's no
Nazi.
way he came on the live arguing that about me. Like that's the type of people that argue that about me. It's like it's being totally disingenuous.
That's just that's nuts. Yeah. So guys, that was a neo-Nazi. Everybody, that was a neo-Nazi. Morgan, thank you for the $20 over on Venmo. Morgan says it's my birthday. Love watching you. Keep educating. How you do? Thank you. Yo, shout out Morgan. Okay, all right, everybody. I want y'all to show some love to Morgan in that chat. Spam W Morgan. Happy birthday, Morgan. While we're focusing on getting this next guest up on the live, everyone just give us a minute. If you're MAGA, let us know. Hop in that queue. We will get you up here. We will have a conversation. We got the next guest, Phil, letting up, as well as XIAO. Thank you for the $100 donation over on PayPal. Holy fuck. Let's get a billion XIAOWs down below in that chat. They say, thank you for the good work. Good to see intelligent young Americans like you standing up for a better world. I really appreciate you for the kind message and the $100 fucking donation. Dude, that is insane. Thank you so much. And I seriously mean that. Huge shout out to you, XIAO. Thank you so much. Danny, what's up? My man, are you MAGA?
I wouldn't say MAGA. I'd say I support Trump, but I wouldn't.
Why do you support him?
So, I mean, I would support any president. I'm not. So, I think the better question for me would be like,
okay, I
why
have a
to vote
question.
for
If
Trump?
you lived within Nazi Germany, would you have supported Hitler?
No.
Okay, so then you
That's
don't just
different.
support. Okay, so again, you're saying that Donald Trump isn't excessively bad insofar as that you wouldn't support him, or I can give you very good evidence to believe that he's excessively bad insofar as that you wouldn't support him, right? Do you think that someone held civilly liable of forcefully penetrating a woman's vagina against her will is excessively bad insofar as that you wouldn't support them?
See, this is kind of my problem with you guys, because this is kind of why I lean to the right, because I feel like you guys rage bait and for more views and like clickbaiting.
I'm actually not rage baiting. I seriously was just asking the question.
Like, no, I don't know what you want me to say to that. Obviously, I don't.
Are you saying that you don't have an argument? You don't have a response?
I mean, I honestly wasn't listening too much. Like, I don't.
So then what's the point of me engaging in a conversation with you if you're not willing to listen to what I'm saying?
Because you were talking pretty quickly, and I'm
Okay.
doing homework right now too. I didn't expect.
So
to be
you
invited.
said that you support him because he's a president. Parker said, well, there's like really compellingly wrong things he's done that should mean you shouldn't support him, like the fact that he raped a woman. That's all he said.
Wasn't Joe Biden accused of raping a woman too?
Tara Reid. Yeah, he was. But guess what? I don't believe Tara Reid. And the reason I don't believe Tara Reid is because when Tara Reid lawyered up, even her own lawyer said that she had a contradictory story. And then when she realized that, she dropped it, she fled to Russia, and she joined an alt-right misinformation campaign.
Well, anyway, the point I wanted to get across was, I just like I don't have a huge problem with you guys, and I'm not like I wouldn't consider myself MAGA. I would say that I do support Trump. Like I think there are issues with everybody, but my main problem with you guys, I don't have a huge issue with you
So
guys.
be
but
honest,
my main problem,
you came up here to talk about your problems with us, not about Trump.
why I voted right. So the why do you support Trump question,
right?
Like I answered that obviously with I would support any president, any U.S.
So
president.
did you vote for him?
I did vote for him. That's
So
the
I
question
feel like
that I wanted to
I feel like
answer.
that's what we're looking for. So why did you vote
Okay,
for
yeah.
Trump compared to Kamala Harris? Maybe your
So,
answer to this question could be a little bit more informative.
So why I voted for Trump was I've like you guys and like and Harry, like it's just, and a lot of the comments, I'm for the country being united, but I feel like the rage baiting and the
I wasn't rage baiting at all, and you just didn't listen to what I said, and you assumed it was rage baiting.
but you got
Can I
into
be
like
honest? Can I be honest, Danny? If a couple chronically online white boys make you vote for any candidate, you're probably in dire need of touching some grass.
It's not that, like, it's not just you guys. It's what I see the left as in general. Like,
Okay.
it's
Okay.
I just see a lot of like divide. Like, I see divide on both sides, but
I think that
I
Donald
see
Trump is the ultimate cause of the political division we see in America today.
and I don't necessarily disagree with that, but I feel like
Thanks for coming up, man. I just don't feel like that conversation was of substance. I think you finally made a claim that was at the left cause division that we would refute. And then my refutation started by saying that I think that Donald Trump is causing the division, and then you just agreed. So I don't know. I don't really see like much substance in the conversation that we would have had if I didn't kick you. Hello, Liam. Are you
did
MAGA?
you vote for Donald Trump?
What was that?
Do you support Trump?
I can't say that I support him, but I did vote for him. I did vote.
Okay. So you think that he's a better president today than Kamala Harris would have been if she was elected? Why is that?
So the only way that I look at it is military wise, right? Because I'm in the military, so
I have a question.
Yeah, what's up?
Do you mind if I completely derail whatever you're about to say?
Why is that?
Because you said you were in the military, and I have a damn compelling argument for you.
All right.
I'll
hear you out.
You took an oath to uphold the American Constitution, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so in the 2020 election, Donald Trump tried to coup our civil electoral processes as defined by the Constitution by attempting to install himself for a second term. He admitted to this in court. He said it was an official act of his presidency that he should have immunity from. And then in December of 2022, he explicitly called for the termination of all rules, regulations, and articles, even those found in the American Constitution. In the beginning of his term, he violated the constitutional rights of all undocumented immigrants and their children for around 2 months before a federal judge overturned his EO relating to only defining birthright citizenship for citizens. He then violated the constitutional rights of Abrigo Garcia when he illegally deported him without due process. And then when the Supreme Court ruled that was a violation of Abrigo Garcia's constitutional rights, he said he didn't care. He then attempted to violate the constitutional rights of a group of Venezuelan immigrants in northern Texas when he tried to apply the Alien Enemies Act to them. SCOTUS ruled he couldn't do it, so that was another unconstitutional thing he did. He unconstitutionally violated the rights of a woman in college in America by black bagging her because of her visa in one state, and then having ICE violate her right to being kept in that state for 48 hours and moved her 1,000 miles to an ICE detention center. He violated the rights of other Venezuelan immigrants when he deported them on a plane without giving them due process first. And then when a judge ordered that he had to turn that plane around, he said he wouldn't do it. And then the judge said that he had probable cause to hold the Trump administration in contempt because they were violating a legal order. He didn't care. And then the climax of all of this was telling an ABC News reporter 2 weeks ago that he doesn't even know if he has to uphold the Constitution. This man is an evident, abundant, and obvious threat to the Constitution. You took an oath to prevent threats to the Constitution. You, in other words, took an oath to prevent Donald Trump from holding any public office that he could use to embolden his anti-American, anti-constitutional platform.
So I haven't been in for that long. I actually joined when Biden was in office. I joined in 2023. So I don't know. It's just out of both the candidates that were running for presidency, right? At this specific time, I chose him. And
how do you feel about the specific things that I just said?
What?
How do you feel about the specific things that I just said?
Well, okay. So what I'll say on that is, I did hear about that stuff, and I will say that a lot of people have done very bad things, and I'm not sitting here saying that Trump is a perfect person. I'm not saying that, what I'm trying to say is, like, everybody has mistakes.
Did you know that you took an oath to prevent every single one of those people that would serve as a threat to the Constitution?
Well, yes, but unfortunately,
so that would include
fall
Donald
under
Trump?
his command. I fall under his command, so there's not
you
a whole lot.
You only fall under his
do
legal
about that.
command. You don't. Oh, one thing that you can do about it right now is to revoke your support.
Well, like I said, I only look at it from a military standpoint. I don't really look at it from, the standpoint that
Yeah,
you
he's
and other.
disrespecting every service member that has ever lived and lost their life in the line of duty, and every service member that will lose their lives in the line of duty, and every service member that won't lose their lives in the line of duty,
But
simply
what
because
about
they're a
the
service member,
13?
and which
What about the
and which is
13
willing to
Marines?
put their life on the line
What
to
about
defend core American values such as the Constitution.
right? But what about those 13 Marines?
There's
And
there's
who
13
was it who
there's
said
13
that?
Marines. Do you know how many people died under Donald Trump's first administration in the military?
Well, yes.
How many?
Obviously,
How many?
like what I'm trying to say is
How many?
everybody's not a perfect person,
How,
right?
how many military service members died under Trump's first admin?
How many military people die under anybody's?
How many under
he
Trump's
doesn't
first
know.
term? 65. What about them? Have you ever heard him talk about them? Nope.
65 versus 16, and then
who
they only
was it
talk
that
about the
completely-
13 specifically.
Right.
That a lot of the people, the 13 that died specifically on that day, right? A lot of those people were killed by people that were released to the Taliban specifically due to Donald Trump specifically and his agreement with the Taliban.
And also, do you just affirm or deny the conclusion that you took an oath to prevent people like Trump? Like, do you affirm or deny the conclusion that Donald Trump is a threat to the American Constitution?
I took an oath for the United States of America. I didn't take an oath for one specific person.
The oath would include that one specific person. But answer my question. Can we agree that Donald Trump is a threat to the American Constitution?
Me personally, I can't say that.
Okay, so I gave you 6 explicit examples that prove he's a threat to the Constitution. Why do you not accept any of those reasons?
Because I just don't look at that. I look at
So you don't
everybody.
accept those reasons because you don't consider those
It's not that it's not that
I'm
I
gonna,
don't
I'm gonna,
accept
I'm gonna now ask you to either consider those reasons or give us good reason why you shouldn't consider the fact that he tried to rig a presidential election, proposing the largest internal attack on the American democracy since the Civil War. Why won't you consider the fact that he explicitly called for the termination of the Constitution? Why won't you consider the fact that he's violated the Constitution 5 times since he got the office, explicitly stated he doesn't give a shit, and that he doesn't even know if he has to uphold the Constitution? Why don't you consider any of these things?
It's not that I don't consider them, right? Because I think we all can agree.
You just told us that you don't consider
2020 election,
No, sir, I'm going to stop you there because you just explicitly
not the 2020
told us,
election, sorry, the 2016 election.
You just explicitly told us that you do not consider these things. That is a sentence that came out of your mouth.
No, I said it's not that I don't consider them. That's exactly what I said word for word.
It's not.
I think we all can agree that during the 2016 election, during Trump's first presidency, Twitter was not his best friend. He made a fool out of himself on Twitter. I think we all can agree about that.
So could you tell me
Just like
why
there
those
are
reasons
things that are
doesn't-
happening
could
now.
could you tell me why those 6 things that I named doesn't make him a threat to the Constitution in your eyes? Could you explain to me why him trying to rig an election? Why him explicitly calling for the termination of the Constitution, violating the Constitution 5 times and not giving a shit? Why don't those things make him a threat to the Constitution?
I can't answer that. I'll give you that. I can't answer
So you
that.
deny it with no reason.
Like I said, I never denied it.
Yeah, you did. You said that you
Okay.
don't think he's a threat to the
No,
Constitution.
No, I never said that at all.
So is it the case that you do think he's a threat, or is it the case that you don't think he's a threat?
It's a case that I think everybody has issues with some things, right?
Okay, so you're not answering my question.
If that's how you want to take it, then sure.
Because there's 2 possible answers to my question. You either do think this or you don't think this. So which one is it?
I already answered. I gave you my answer, my personal answer.
Could you clarify on if you do or don't think this? Or is it that you don't know?
Yeah, I can't clarify because it's just like I've already given you my personal answer.
So there's, as far as I'm concerned, there's only 3 possible answers. You do think he's a threat, you don't think he's a threat, or you don't know if he's a threat. Which one is it?
What do you mean by threat?
I've already given you my answer.
Okay, and which one? Okay, so because those were the only 3 possible answers, your answer would have been one of those 3 options. So which
My
one of those
answer-
which one of those 3 options was your answer?
my answer is, yeah, he might not be a good person, right? Everybody's not a good person. Everybody fails at some point, right?
Okay, so
Everybody
then
does.
okay, so if that's your answer, then you're not answering the question that I asked. Because keep in mind the question that I asked: do you think he's a threat to the Constitution for the reasons I gave, or don't you think he's a threat to the Constitution for the reasons that I gave, or are you unsure if he's a threat to the Constitution because of the reasons that I gave? Which one is it?
If I had to give you an answer to your specific question, I would say I do not think he is.
Okay, and guess what I'm going to do now, Liam?
What's up,
I'm
Dean?
now going to remove you from the live. The reason why I'm going to remove you from the live is because 2 minutes ago, before I had to prod into you for an answer to my question, you said that you've never said that you don't think he's a threat to the Constitution, when I was able to get a slam dunk on you for you denying the fact that he's a threat to the Constitution. But now, after me prodding at you meticulously, pulling nails, I've got you to admit that you don't hold that position. Right? So earlier when you said that you don't think that, or you haven't said that, you're just being dishonest, man. And I don't really appreciate dishonesty.
All right, then you guys have a good night.
Yeah, you as well. Moving on to the next guest, everybody. We're going to move on to Carson. If you're in that queue, make sure that means that you're MAGA, everybody. And then Noah, thank you for the $100 super chat over on the YouTube stream. Noah says, yeah, he's a solid fascist and neo-Nazi. That last guy's, dude, totally Noah. Also, thank you so much for the $100 donation, dude. My God. Everybody, show some love to Noah down below in that chat. Noah, this is your second time being in here. I recognize the name. I think the other day you showed some love. I really appreciate that, Noah. Seriously, guys, show some love to Noah down below, guys. Also, I'd like to thank Eliza for the 66 cents. Valerie, thank you for the $10 over on Venmo, saying that Trump is the most unpresidential president in U.S. history. Deadass, Valerie, thank you for the love, as well as Kinsey, thank you for the $15, saying under the UCMJ, Liam Thompson cannot make his political affiliation known while in uniform or engaging in political debates. Yeah, that's a Hatch Act, right? I forgot about that, or I would have warned him. Thank you for the $15, Kinsey, as well as for helping me remember. If you're watching the stream, let us know. We will pull you up, guys. Just looking for the next debate. What's up, Cross? Do you support Trump? Okay, and they're gone. Hey, man, go ahead and drop a MAGA down below in that chat if you're American, at least 18, and support Trump and willing to come up here and debate. May says, pull me up. All right, I'll pull you up, May. Let's have a debate. I really hope that you're MAGA. What's up, May? Are you MAGA?
I don't like the term MAGA, but I voted for Trump, and yeah, I know. I do have a few things to say, if it's okay, and I have a question for you.
Yeah, take it away.
First one is, Parker, your hair looks like feathers. It's beautiful. And the second thing that I have to say is one of the most common arguments to everything you say that I've heard is that you use a vape pen, and I wish people would stop saying that because it's not really relevant. It makes anybody that does support Trump look bad, that's your best argument. Secondly, I'm from Louisiana. I'm from the Deep South. I think that the reason that I support Trump so far, I am starting to learn, has been ignorance. But I'm trying to find where to look to find something better, okay?
Okay, so did you come up here to give us an argument why you think he's a good president? Because, I mean, if you're just trying to, like, deconstruct your beliefs and you're starting to realize that a lot of the reasons are rooted in ignorance, I think it's that, like, maybe watching the stream and being a viewer is going to be, like, better for you compared to, like, being on the stream and being a debater, you know?
I understand that, and I do agree with you, but that's why I have a question.
Okay.
Being rooted, unfortunately, in ignorance in the South and just figuring this out by looking things up for myself, it's still a fear of mine that everything is biased and I don't know where to look.
Well, I mean, you just test it for its bias, right? But if
Exactly.
I had to give you, honestly, I'd recommend Ground News. Ground News, and actually, you could go to ground.news/Dean, and you can get 40% off of their Unlimited Vantage plan, and you'll have a full subscription to Ground News. And what they do is they actually give you bias ratings from different. Oh, they're not paying me to say this. I'm going to say it anyways. They give you bias ratings about like different topics in the news. They also give you details about the ownership of different media organizations, as well as they indicate to you, where companies get their funding from. And they give you a full spread of reporting on the same topic from the right, left, and center, as well as they indicate what bias each publisher has. That's a decent place to start. And actually, Chad, I'm doing a paid promo with Ground News soon. And I never
that,
do.
That actually wasn't one.
That wasn't one.
Genuinely was not one.
Yeah, I just know that they gave me that link for when I do the paid promo. But I could give you that link now. I don't get like compensation from that or anything.
That's so cool.
But anyways,
No,
that's a good place to go. But I do appreciate you for coming up.
Thank you so much. I'm gonna actually share that around.
Of course.
So you guys.
Take care. We're gonna move on to the next guest. Let us know if you're MAGA down below in the chat. Yeah, chat. How do we feel about that? So I like typically don't accept paid deals. However, I think that like Ground News is like actually a good product. So I did with them. Like they're gonna like sponsor me to promote their product. And from my perspective, I think that's totally fine because it is like an actually good product. What are your thoughts there, Chad? What's up, Bill? Do you support Trump?
I voted for Trump.
Okay, how old are you?
44.
44. And Bill, oh my God. Why would you ever support such a terrible president?
Everyone seems to like Ground News.
Because I'm rich and Trump is making me more rich like he's making the rest of his billionaire friends.
Yeah. What's your annual income, buddy?
Too much to talk about.
Like 7 figures, 6 figures? Where are we at?
I'm just kidding. I'm trolling. But listen, I am sick of these guys coming on here and saying, I don't know anything about policy. So
I'm gonna kick you because we want a Trump supporter, but dead ass. Moving on to the next guest, everyone. We're gonna go to get Dominic up on the stream. Let me know down below in that chat if you support Trump. We'll get you up here to debate. Everyone, just give us a minute. Dominic, how old are you, man?
What?
Get out of here, Jane. How old are you?
Janae.
Janae.
And I'm 22.
Do you support Trump?
My friends do.
Are you with your friends?
I've debated them a lot of times, and they've all said, okay, we're not going to listen to his lies. But each time I bring up any of your arguments, they're like, you don't know that's facts. So
you know what?
I'm recording this, and I'm wanting to show them. I'm asking their questions. And,
I'm so sorry, Janae. Like, I only really do typically like debate individuals that are like here and present. I don't go through a medium because like you won't be able to like give like a counter argument or whatnot. What I'd recommend, Janae, is I will happily like keep your name and your profile picture in mine. And if I ever see you in the chat again, I will happily let you up. If you happen to be with your friends and you want to request up, I'd love to talk to them.
Okay, I'd love that. Thank you.
Cool. Have a good one. Scotty, what's up? You MAGA?
Yes, sir.
Oh, dude, no, why? Ew, dude, come on, bro, why?
Multiple reasons. First is foreign policy and foreign relations. And the third is, well, I don't like him for this, but it's the Pornhub ban, and I love gooning, bro. I love gooning.
Get out of
I love
here.
stroking my shit, bro.
Bro, get out of the live. Oh my God, get the fuck out. What a weirdo, dude. I mean, what a total weirdo. Yeah, go on a stream and talk in front of 9.6 thousand people
bro,
about
what?
gooning. No, bro, that's actually like that's crazy. The more you think about
That
it,
was
the
so
worse that
cringe.
gets. The more you think about that, the more cringe it gets. Imagine just standing at like a literal like microphone with speakers, and you have like over 10,000 people in front of you, and you're like, "Oh, I love stroking it. I love stroking it, dude." Oh, the more I think about it, the worse I get.
That is actually so cringe.
The more I think about it, the worse it
That's
gets.
like actually so
Oh
cringe.
my God. I gotta stop thinking about that. I'm gonna die from cringe. What's going on? One of many united. Do you support Trump?
Louise, thank you for the $10. Iris, thank you for the $3, and then Kiara, thank you for the $3 as well. Thank you.
Yes, I do. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, man. Why do you support the worst president of your life?
Enjoy watching you guys. You guys get in the stream, and I don't even follow you, but it's been entertaining. Key reason: slowing down DC.
Slowing down DC. What do you mean by that?
The real problem, guys. But I'll talk about Trump. I'm not going to side over to DC, but DC is the problem, guys.
Okay.
And
okay.
the other thing
I
is,
think that Trump makes it more of a problem, though.
no, you guys, the approval rate for DC is
Isn't the issue
horrible,
that
even worse than Trump.
Wait, isn't
We all know this.
Isn't one of the main
It's
issues?
been terrible for 40 years, guys.
Isn't one of the main issues that we have that they don't act quick enough or that they don't do enough?
Yeah, it's divided.
So
right?
then why would
So they've
you
been
want,
spending $1 trillion
so why would
every
you-
100 days for the last 4 years, Parker.
So why would you want there to be more division and less?
Oh, I don't want
work
more
done?
division. When Trump leaves, there'll
His
still be
microphone-
division.
Hey, bro,
You
dude,
guys, hey,
dude, you're talking to us
you
through a
guys-
toaster. You
guys,
do you have like, yo,
Romney-
listen,
Romney was gonna put y'all back in
listen.
chains.
What the fuck?
Are we gonna play a song now?
Listen, do you have
Dude,
do you
it's
have
so
like a
bad.
Bluetooth mic connected or some shit?
I don't know, just whatever works.
Okay, well this mic doesn't work. So if you're on a phone and you have like AirPods in or some shit, could you disconnect like any and all Bluetooth devices?
Yeah, please.
There's gonna be an echo.
Dude, yeah. This guy's like freaking out with like this toaster microphone.
It's so loud, bro. I'm like, jeez.
While he's fixing that, I'd love
Did
to
that work?
No. Chicago, or sorry, Chico.
You laugh
that
like a
is-
girl.
I laugh like a girl. What do you
You
mean I
do,
laugh
buddy.
like a girl? Are you
Dude,
just telling me
this
You
that
laughed like a girl just now. Let's rewind it.
I laugh like
this
Are we
misogynistic
talking about
POS.
Trump?
I have a question.
Are we gonna talk about
Hey,
Trump?
hey, buddy, how would you possibly even like, okay, how is it logically possible that you would know what a girl or woman laughs like when you have never been in a
I
5
live
mile
with one,
radius
buddy.
of one?
And married with one. Are you kidding me?
Oh,
I feel bad for
Oh,
her.
let me guess. It's like she goes to another school type shit.
Everyone
Dude, I'm 50 years old. Are you serious, dude?
type F in the comment section to pay respects to the wife.
Oh, yo, Becky, thank you for the $25 over on PayPal. I appreciate you for the love, Becky, as well as Ariel. Thank you for the $20 on Venmo. And once again,
All right, let's
Chico,
get
thank you
back.
for the $20 as well. Guys, show some love to Ariel and Chico, as well as Becky down below in the chat for the two $20 donations and the one $25 donation, as well as James. Thank you so much for the $10 over on PayPal. James says, one moment here. I'm going to try to pull up his message. You have an incredible amount of patience to talk with MAGA callers. Oh, dude, it requires it. I appreciate you for the $10, James. Thank you guys so much for the love. Would you mind thanking the donors real quick, Mr. Guest? Say thank you. Be polite.
Thank you.
You're a good boy. Okay, take it away. Why do you support Trump?
Why do I support Trump?
Yeah.
Well, close borders. Number two would
Hold on.
be
Is it
Kamala
possible you
wasn't
could
a good
turn
candidate.
down the
She
gain of
wasn't
his
even
mic?
primary.
Hey, is it possible you could turn down the gain of your mic? It's like you turned the gain of your mic to the highest possible setting it could go to.
Thanks for the play-by-play.
Also, by the way, I just want
Okay.
to let you know that
Are we
like,
better now?
I also just want to let you
No.
know that like quote unquote you laugh like a girl is only an insult if you hate women.
Okay, Dean. Kamala was a terrible candidate.
Kamala.
Why was Harris?
Whatever it was, whatever it was, dude.
Just
She
call it-
wasn't even primaried.
Just call it.
Bernie Sanders agrees. The threat to democracy is the DNC.
Ah.
Go watch the podcast. Andrew Schultz.
Watch the podcast.
I gotta turn him down, dude.
Don't worry. You do it, Parker.
It's
I'll
okay.
take it
You
away. I'll
guys-
take it away. Just take the headphones out. I got this. Okay. So let me ask you
We're
a
gonna be
question.
okay.
You said that the DNC was a threat to democracy, but for whatever
Yeah,
fucking
no
reason,
primary since 2008.
but for whatever fucking reason, when Donald Trump sent fake slates of electorates to 7 different key swing states in the 2020 election to then cast fake ballots for himself to Congress to be counted as real to install himself as the president against the voice and the vote of the people, that didn't care at all, right?
You just hit it,
Didn't matter
Dean.
at all, right?
It's both sides, buddy.
Well, I mean,
It's
that's
both
more than a both
sides.
sides issue. When have you ever seen a
Oh,
Democrat
no, no,
fucking
no.
literally
At least the
rig a
Republicans have a
general
primary.
election?
At least the Republicans have a primary.
Well, hey, I want to let you know that the primaries, as observed in the
In
RNC and the
2008,
DNC,
Dean, when the DNC chose identity politics,
I muted you because you interrupted me. Now I'll let you know that, like, the RNC and the DNC and their primary processes are the same. They have the same rules, statutes, and regulations. So if you want to say that the rules, statutes, and regulations of the DNC are anti-democratic, then you must also say the same thing about the RNC. They are the same. And then also, it's worth pointing out that both the DNC and the RNC are private political organizations which are not a fixture of our government, something that you could go and start your own
the
fucking
RNC has
tomorrow.
primaries. The DNC does not since 2008.
So you're just repeating what you said, but not responding to my debate.
Well, did you agree with that?
So can you agree that it is the case that the RNC and the DNC have identical rules, regulations, and standards of operations? Parker's losing it. Chat, should we kick him? Is his mic that bad? I'll kick him if he's that bad. Maybe he just doesn't sound that bad in my headphones.
Dean, it is horrible, dude. It's
Oh,
like
alright.
I have my headphones off, my earphones off.
You can
I
still
can't
hear
hear you at all. I can hear him loud and clearly, dude.
Okay. All right. I'm
It's
sorry.
so bad.
All right, we
dude.
kicked him, everybody. We kicked him. Henry, what's up? Are you MAGA?
Hell fucking yeah.
Oh, all right, buddy. How old are you?
I'm just kidding. I'm 17.
Okay, funny fetus. Goodbye. Moving on to Cody, everybody. Keep in mind, hey, you like what you see. You want to support me. My Venmo, my PayPal are in the link tree in my bio on TikTok. I get 100% of the proceeds on those platforms. If you donate to me, I'll be able to read out a message on live, as well as you can find my Venmo, my PayPal in the YouTube stream in the pinned comment or in the link in the bio. I appreciate you guys for the love. Let's go to get that next guest
Speaking
up
of
on the
which,
live.
Jay, thank you for the $50 YouTube super chat for Love You
Hello?
Parker. Thank you so much, Jay. Can we get some W's for Jay in the comment
Love you,
section
Jay.
right
Love
now?
you, Jay.
Thank you, Jay. I appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Braden, you MAGA?
Yeah, I'm pretty MAGA.
How old are you, bro?
Why so?
19.
19. Why the hell are you MAGA, dude? So lame. Cringe.
I know. I mean, if you can change my mind, like I'll definitely change. I'm not one of those that are stubborn, but
All right, let's do it.
I like how he, like economically, like with foreign relations with the leaders, I love how he's very bold. Like I don't like how Biden was kind of weak. But if you can prove to me that he was strong with like Putin and stuff, I rock with it.
Yo, dude, I will prove to you in like under 2 minutes that like Joe Biden, okay, is infinitely stronger against Putin than Trump. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm going to start my argument by describing how infinitely weak Trump is against Putin. Okay, are you ready?
Yeah.
So imagine this. This is before the election. The U.S. gets word of leaked Kremlin documents where Putin says that Trump is easy to manipulate. They're verified as authentic. We know they're real. If I knew about it, so did Trump. Okay? So Trump knew that Putin thought he was easy to manipulate and still continued to peddle this idea that we were giving Ukraine too much money. A month passes, we're still before the election. We get even more leaked Kremlin documents where Putin says that he wants to push propaganda in America and convince Americans that America is giving too much money to Ukraine. Once again, if I knew this, so did Trump. So Trump knew that Putin thought he was easy to manipulate, and Trump knew that Putin wanted Americans to think that we are giving Ukraine too much money, but he still runs on the agenda of anti-support for Ukraine. He becomes a president, and then he stops all humanitarian support to Ukraine. Exactly what Putin wants him to do, and exactly what Putin wanted Americans to think was a good choice. And Trump still thinks he has a good running relationship with Putin. 2 months pass. We're now over 100 days since Donald Trump's term begun. Putin has not accepted a single ceasefire agreement from Ukraine. And Donald Trump, after 120 days, finally says that Putin is unwilling to cooperate, and he just has no clue why Putin isn't willing to accept a ceasefire agreement. Putin drops the biggest bombs that he ever has in the history of the war on Ukraine. Donald Trump says, this isn't like him. Why is he doing this? Even though he's obviously being manipulated by Putin, and he knew it half a fucking year ago.
Yeah.
That demonstrates Donald Trump's weakness, like, so well.
Wait, so when they first attacked, was it under Biden's administration when they first went under, like when Russia went and tried to invade Ukraine?
Well, I mean, they got Crimea under Obama, but yeah, like the war that you know, yeah.
Yeah. So does he think that Biden is weak as well? Like he thinks both of them are weak, or did he like fear Biden?
Well, I could say I'd be willing to assume that Putin's a raging narcissist that thinks he's the strongest person alive, and anybody that's not him is weaker than him. But I could definitely say that he feared the Democrats, Biden and Harris, more than Trump, because the Democrats, Biden and Harris, were like, yeah, that Putin dude, fuck him, he sucks, he's a dictator. Let's go ahead and stand 10 toes behind Ukraine and give them what they need to fight off the invader. Trump was like, I have some respect for the guy. We've had a good running relationship. Even though he thinks he can manipulate me and has and will again, I'm going to continue to say that we shouldn't be supporting Ukraine.
So when would enough be enough, though? Like, let's say, God forbid that this war goes on for another 30 years. Should we keep giving money and aid every single year? Like, is there ever a threshold where we need to start focusing more on maybe like isolationist a little more?
Well, I'm totally fine with giving Ukraine everything that they need to win. Not only because of the contractual agreement we made with them in the 90s, the Budapest Memorandum, but also because it's a humanitarian cause, and I think we have a moral obligation to do so. And then we're really wasteful with money. Like, I don't know why you care about $32 billion per year disproportionately in weapons, not in money given to Ukraine to stop the slaughter of their innocent civilians. But, like, you support Donald Trump even though right now he's advocating for this quote-unquote big, beautiful bill, which is going to redistribute money from the poor to the wealthy, and it's going to cost $3.8 trillion. Okay? That's like 1,000 times more funding than what we're granting to Ukraine on a yearly basis. You know where I'm coming from?
I understand. I think it's a lost cause. There's no way. I don't think that they could stop Russia if Russia wants to invade Ukraine.
Sure. What are your
Now it is because the
qualifications?
funding has been cut off.
What do you say?
Now it is because the funding has been cut off. But prior, when the funding was up, it was the case that the West is able to uphold Ukraine's economy and able to continue the war longer than Russia would be able to because of their economy being in shambles.
Also, just keep in
But
mind,
their economy. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, keep in mind that this is what Putin wants you to think.
Okay, yeah. And I don't necessarily I don't like Putin whatsoever. I think no matter what, he's not going to think our leaders are strong. Obviously, you said he's egotistical. But Zelensky, on the other hand, there's a lot of questions of him becoming a leader. Like, are you aware of how he became a leader and things like that?
No,
A lot of the-
I'm not like particularly like that interested either. Because what I care about is the innocent Ukrainians that have been ethnically cleansed, the innocent Ukrainians that have lost their homes, the innocent Ukrainians in which have been forced to relocate halfway across the globe, such as the 238,000 innocent Ukrainian refugees in America right now, the innocent Ukrainians that have been killed, displaced, slaughtered, the innocent Ukrainians which have been blown up by fucking FPS drones and like war crimes by Russian soldiers. Like, you could critique Zelensky all you want, but whatever you have to say about Zelensky definitely does not diminish the fact that I think the state of Ukraine has a right to self-determination, and I don't think it's cool to just ethnically cleanse hundreds of thousands of Ukrainians.
100%. I also don't believe it's a democracy how we see it. I've seen a lot of civilians be dragged into cars and put on the front lines for Ukraine. And that on the other side is terrible.
So A, I don't know if that's true. I've heard that's Russian propaganda. And B, while we could help prevent that by giving them the means to better equip the soldiers they already have.
So why don't we just go all in? Like, let's stop Russia right now. Let's
Because it would be World War III, and there's both sides are nuclear powers. So this is as far as we can go in without causing World War III.
Do you think it'll end soon, or do you think this is going to be just
now? But like, it will be the case that Putin has significantly more power. So you picked the side that gave Putin more power.
Yeah, you did. How does that make you feel?
I don't know, man. Like, I'm always searching for the truth, and even if it seems a little bit weird,
Can you agree that you did pick the side that gives Putin more power, though?
yeah, 100%. Because
So
the other
historically-
side donated to
like,
Ukraine.
So like,
aid.
historically, was picking the side of the genocidal maniac dictator a good idea or a bad idea?
Well, you could say that with Kamala Harris, supporting Israel more.
You
that
actually,
could be
you
a
actually
genocide
can.
itself.
Well, you actually can say that. So I don't support.
It's both sides.
I don't support the pro-Israel policy of Kamala Harris, but since you want to pivot to her pro-Israel policy, the reason why I still think she was better was because relative to Trump, he was more pro-Israel.
Who was more pro-Israel?
Donald Trump.
Donald Trump.
Than Kamala Harris?
Yeah.
That's the one thing I don't understand. But
He
taking
said
the
that
wrong
himself.
stance now.
He's-
He's told Netanyahu.
He said that himself, by the way.
But he's told Netanyahu that something has to be done in Gaza, or he's going to cut off aid.
So he said that he wants to. What needs to be done is that the U.S. needs to go into the Gaza Strip, help personally ethnically cleanse the 2.1 million Palestinians living there, forcefully relocate them to Jordan and Egypt, give them no right to return, then turn the Strip into a resort for Netanyahu, then gifting the land to Israel. What
That
he
is
wants to be
terrible.
done is more ethnic cleansing.
Well, the big thing with me is a year ago, honest to God, I probably would have went to war and died for Israel. And I've seen so much, and it's so weird. I'm MAGA 100%, but that's the one thing that I disagree with Trump. Like, the Zionist policies, I totally disagree with. And I think it's a genocide. I do think it's a genocide.
So,
But then on the other side,
so
they both support Israel.
well, the what like matters insofar as what you should have used to determine who you would have voted for in context of this issue is who is like worse, like who would have generated the worst material outcome.
100%. Yeah.
Given that it was two candidates, one was going to win. We need to be able to choose the one that will generate the lesser of two evils.
Well, me as a 19-year-old, like going into this economy and trying to get a good career out of college and things like that, I just looked at Trump as a businessman and a better economy. Because under 4 years,
Man,
and
we
maybe
went
this is
from
proper-
we were able to go ahead. I just wanted to point out real quick that you were able to successfully pivot away from Ukraine. Then you were able to successfully pivot away from Israel and
Listen, but this is because we agree that both sides do this. So this is what I'm saying.
But,
why?
no,
I voted
but
for Trump.
no. But obviously, Donald Trump was worse.
In terms of Israel, or in terms of Ukraine, or genocide,
Both,
or what?
both.
I don't know. Maybe. Okay, but that's not my biggest thing. My biggest thing, I know this sounds selfish, is the economy, and I know that sounds bad.
Then let's talk about it, right?
Yeah.
So one, can you name one good businessman with 6 bankruptcies?
No, but I can name a billionaire who's generated billions of dollars for himself and his companies.
Okay.
I mean, it doesn't. Every
but-
successful businessman has had a bankruptcy. That's not something we value. But we value it on their net worth.
6 times though. But like here, and he inherited $400 million accounting for inflation from his dad. So I just want to bring that up. That's a huge important thing to bring up. Secondly, if we want to talk about this, under Donald Trump, name what economic policy you support of his.
Economic policy. Wait, is this going to sound stupid? Oh my gosh, it's going to sound stupid.
Yes,
like
it
with
will.
low gas prices.
Okay, that's not a policy, right? And can you tell me specifically?
No. Like more like.
So do you think the Biden-Harris administration caused gas prices to go up?
I do, with the stopping of drilling in Alaska.
Okay.
So
you're
there's
basically
less supply.
So they did okay. So less overall supply would increase their prices. So funny enough, the most oil ever produced in a single month under Trump's first term was 12.9 thousand barrels of oil per day. That was in December of 2019. They produced more than that for a fucking year straight. And every single month under their administration, through the totality of it, it is the case that they produced more than the month prior.
Then why was it higher?
Yeah, because we had a massive reduction in imports because we sanctioned all oil from Russia.
But in 2024 still?
We still have it sanctioned today in like 2025. Wow. It's because they've been doing very bad things to Ukraine. We should be sanctioning them, yeah.
So you agree that under the Biden administration, like our economy was better?
Our economy was better relative to what?
For the average citizen, like cost of goods, quality of life.
Compared to when? Like now?
Compared to the first Trump administration.
I'd say it was like better than towards the end of his term under the pandemic. But I would say like before the pandemic under Trump's first term, the economy was better than like the first 3 years of Biden's term.
Because of COVID?
Yeah, I don't really think that Donald Trump did anything to make the economy better under his first term. And I think that Biden and Harris did a lot to rebound us very successfully from the pandemic. And now today, I think that Donald Trump is actively destroying that work that they did. Like, I don't know. Is it fair for me to assume that you're not in the top 20% of income earners in this country?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, no. I don't got no motion.
Yeah, you'll be paying more in after-tax income, according to the Center Budget and Policy Priorities of Donald Trump's tax cuts bill, the BBB passes. So what the Center for Budget and Policy Priority says is that 80% of income earners will have a lower after-tax income because of that BBB, because of Trump. And our government is paying $3.8 trillion to tax you more. And that's Donald Trump's economic plan. That's bullshit, right? Can we admit that's bullshit? His economic plan is to spend nearly $4 trillion, so you're paying more in taxes.
That sounds terrible. But what about no taxes on tips and things like that?
So you could definitely point out a couple things in the bill that may impact you and may be helpful. However, when we consider the impact of the totality of the bill, you're served a net negative.
Oh, so at the end of the day, it makes it worse.
Yeah, that's what the Center on Budget and Policy Priority says. And that's bullshit, right? Spending $3.8 trillion, almost twice as much as every penny spent under the entirety of the Biden-Harris administration on non-COVID related expenditure on one bill just to raise your taxes. Oh God, he's a madman.
That sounds bad.
Yeah, that sounds terrible, but that's what's happening, dude. It's like, that's what I want to convince you of. That's why I do these live streams. He's a tyrannical idiot.
So you don't think at all like he's a good president?
No, no.
Do you think he's the worst ever?
I think he's the worst of either of our lifetimes.
So okay, wait, when were you born?
2004.
Okay, I was gonna say like Bill Clinton, but
Oh, he's worse than Clinton.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, like maybe like the one name that comes to head that I'm like, huh, maybe worse than Trump is like Andrew Jackson.
Yeah, Andrew Jack or Woodrow Wilson because he was pretty racist. But I have okay, so if Biden went on to be the nominee, you have voted for Biden?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I
Did
would
you
have voted
any
for you.
concerns about his mental capabilities and things like that?
Even in the state he's at right now, even with a diagnosis.
About his like mental capabilities, I had like, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I would love to see like a 45-year-old in the presidency, right?
Yeah.
Right. So obviously, if we're gonna compare like an 85-year-old to a 45-year-old, what I'd like to see, okay, yeah, they're older, but I'm honestly not too concerned with Biden's cognitive abilities. You know, like, okay, he's a bit slow at moving. Maybe he needs some help going down the stairs, and he's not like super quick at thinking. You know, like he can't hold himself together too well, like in a debate. But I mean, I think that he handled his presidency really well, and he's still handling the press today quite well. I mean, I think that he was obviously preferable to Trump.
So when Trump says like things that Biden was using an auto pen and he was fully incapable of, holding office, you think that he was 100% making the decisions? Because that's what a lot of MAGA agrees.
Yeah,
that
I think that
Biden-
Trump is just spouting bullshit. And then
Really?
also, like, no president makes 100% of their decisions. Like, they all are surrounded by a cabinet
Right, but he meant like
and
like
advisors.
vegetable. He meant
Oh,
like
yeah,
full-on
that's
vegetable.
that's a full-on lie.
But we can agree that he was kind of mentally, especially in the last 2 years, unhinged.
No, we cannot agree that he was mentally
We can't
unhinged.
agree on it?
No, we can't agree that he was mentally unhinged. Why? Okay, I actually want an argument. Convince me that Biden was mentally unhinged.
So in that first debate, I forget when it was.
The debate.
Yeah,
For
Biden
sure.
versus Trump.
Well,
Yeah,
for
that
sure.
was
I mean,
bad.
I think that I'm beating you worse than Trump beat Biden. Does that mean that you're even more mentally unhinged than Biden was?
Well, I hope that I'm kind of conveying my opinions. Like it was I felt so bad for him, even as a MAGA person. Like
Right.
it felt like having an elderly
and
man.
I could agree. Maybe we could have some common ground there, but I don't think that meant he was mentally unhinged. I think that just meant that because of his age, he wasn't able to think on his feet as quickly as he maybe did when he was 40. But lacking an ability to like think on your feet super quickly because of your older age, like sure that shows mental degradation, but that doesn't tell me that he was mentally unhinged.
Okay, and now that is it prostate cancer now?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Also, isn't it funny how you have to completely ignore Kamala Harris to even maybe have a talking point?
I think she.
Like, isn't that great?
Her
Isn't that
laugh-
great?
I don't know.
Like you have to like exist in like this world that doesn't exist, where you're like, Kamala Harris never ran. I definitely didn't vote for Trump over her. I voted for Trump over. Like, you have to kind of like set up this fairy tale make believe realm in order to even start a conversation with me about how terrible Trump is. You know?
Well, I think there were questions about Kamala Harris's mental capabilities too.
Oh,
Like,
come on. Listen.
No,
the
no,
moment
no, listen.
The moment I hear anybody say that, you want to know what the first thought that comes into my head is?
What?
Misogyny.
Really? Like,
you can convince me otherwise, though. Try to, please.
Okay, I'll try. Just her little sayings and things like that, and always like she laughs way too. I know that sounds bad, but she laughs way too much. She never has a serious tone.
You're not convincing me. You're only making it worse. The moment
That's
I hear somebody
ridiculous.
say that a woman's laugh is worse than fascism, I'm
like when
lost.
she's being questioned about foreign policy.
Braden, for example, the debates. Do you think she didn't have a serious tone of the debates?
I think she did decent in the debates, 100%.
I think she destroyed Donald Trump. I think she was incredibly serious. I think she went over all of the points that you'd think are practically relevant from your perspective to go over. So I really wonder why specifically, or even referencing this, when in the place where she literally, right, was on the spot to the most, right, in front of the entire country against Donald Trump, she performed the best.
Also, I want to ask a question.
Yeah.
If my biggest critique of Trump was the way that he laughed.
Oh, it's not the way she
do you think I would I would be a strong proponent of liberal ideology and be an icon of the dismissal of the right?
No, I mean like when she's being asked serious questions and she laughs it off and things like that to make it a funny situation rather than taking it serious.
Your
Like in her
biggest your
CBS
biggest critique of Kamala Harris is how she laughed in some scenarios, and I don't even know if these scenarios exist because it's just a claim coming from a MAGA supporter. That's your
Yeah.
biggest critique of Kamala Harris.
I think she's just unserious.
My biggest critique of Donald Trump is that he fulfills all 14 candidates of fascism. That's seemingly
Actually?
worse than that's seemingly worse than laughing, right? Or maybe
I'm cool with her laughing,
him,
but
him committing 34 felonies, raping a woman, or advocating for economic reform that redistributes wealth from the poor to the rich.
So he says that Kamala Harris isn't serious. Watch this. Donald Trump, when he called for the termination of the Constitution, what do you think about that?
I'm
That's
unserious because
terrible.
I just laughed.
Braden, what'd you say?
Wait, he called for the termination of the
He called
Constitution.
it for the termination of all rules, regulations, and articles, even those found in the Constitution.
Read it.
So with the revelation of massive and widespread fraud and deception and working closely with the big tech companies, the DNC, and the Democrat Party, do you throw the presidential election results of 2020 out and declare the rightful winner, or do you have a new election? A massive fraud of this type and magnitude allows for the termination of all rules, regulations, and articles, even those found in the Constitution. Our great founders did not want and would not condone false and fraudulent elections.
So is he arguing that parts of it are subjective? Or is he saying that some
No, he's
parts
saying
should
he
be
calls for the
fully-
termination of all rules, regulations, and articles, even those found in the Constitution. He's saying terminate the Constitution because, particularly, right, he won the 2020 election, which there was no evidence to indicate. So, like, don't you see that as a huge issue, or is he not
I
serious?
think that's an issue, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just okay. Do you have a real argument against Kamala Harris, or is it probably time that me and Parker move on to
It's
our next
probably
guest?
time. Thank you guys, though.
Have a good one, man.
You too.
Let's go and get that next guest up in the live, everybody. If you're in that queue, make sure that you support Trump. Let's go to get that next guest connected up into the live, y'all. Let's go to get that next guest connected up into the live, everybody. All right. Bushmaster, what is going on? Are you MAGA?
Oh, this guy again.
Have you talked to him before?
Yeah, he's
I've
insane.
talked to Parker.
Are you insane?
You've talked to him too. You've talked to him too.
Okay, are you insane? Are you insane, Bushmaster?
Yes, we did this last time he came up on the live, and I said he's insane. He's like, "Oh my gosh, how am I insane?" After literally every single time the same shit happens.
Well, that's cool. I mean, I'm glad you think
I'm pretty sure you kicked him off last time.
Bushmaster, are you driving?
No.
Okay, could you disconnect like any and all Bluetooth devices from your phone? You sound like you're like a billion miles away.
Well, I don't know why, but
He's a
I'm sitting in my truck in the parking lot.
Yeah, so just disconnect Bluetooth on your phone because right now it's going through your truck's mic and it's bad.
Oh, so I just need to turn the volume down a little bit because it's.
Okay, yeah, I'm
that
really.
better?
No, it's
Turn
not.
off the
'cause You
Bluetooth.
just have to deter, dude. What kind of phone are you on?
What kind of phone do I have?
Yeah.
What you just asked me? iPhone 16 Pro Max.
Okay, watch this. So here's your iPhone 16 Pro Max. Swipe down from the top right-hand corner. Okay, then when you do that, you'll have
And
this.
you can pull that up, and then you press the little top left.
And then, yeah, turn it off
Yeah.
right now so we could hear you better.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Finally,
Dude.
Bluetooth's off.
There we go. All right, what the hell do you want, buddy?
I was just listening to y'all talk. Y'all was talking about the debate between Trump and.
No, it's still bad. I'm sorry, man. Your mic sucks, dude. MAGA mic. MAGA mic. Goodbye.
That is a MAGA mic.
That is a MAGA mic. Quite frankly, moving on. Everybody, let's go to get that next guest up in the live. Bridget! Thank you so much for the $20 over at PayPal. Let's get to it at Bridget W's. Bridget says, Dean, I donated it earlier in the week, but it's worth another $20 to get your attention to tell you that I'm disappointed you let a MAGA get away with saying that there's no Democratic primary in 2012, 2016, and 2020 because there were all 4 times. I apologize for letting MAGA get away with that. I'm pretty sure I just ended up kicking that guest because his mic sucked too. But thank you for the $20, Bridget.
I actually didn't even hear that myself.
Yo, what's up, MAGA for life? Are you MAGA? They're not even here. All right, if you're part of the 8.6 thousand people watching and you support Trump, let us know. We'll pull you up. Also,
Yo, God.
No, go for it, man.
Yo, Chris, thank you for the $3.33. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. As well as Elena with the $50 on Venmo. Thank you so much, Elena. Can we get some W's for Elena in the comment section right now? Thank you so much, Elena. I really appreciate it. I'm so happy to hear that. That's fucking amazing. W's for Elena in the comment section right now. Thank you so much, Elena.
I was just gonna say if you
Yo,
like.
can you hear me?
Yeah. Hi. How old are you?
Cookie King mogs you. I just gotta say that.
Question. J-O-B. What does that spell?
Yo, don't even bring that near me, bro. I don't want to hear that.
What does it say?
I don't want to hear that.
What does it spell?
I'm not saying that.
Boom! I'm a job application. Oh
no!
Get the fuck off the stream. Get the fuck off. Dude.
You know, Dean, I've started getting those as well. Like they started coming on my live and saying Cookie King mogs you.
Dude, just a bleed over effect. The bleed over effect. Trigger word, everybody. That's a trigger word. What's up, Miguel? Do you support Trump?
Oh, I had a couple questions.
That is a child. That is a
Peters.
child.
How long do you plan to be on, Dean?
I'm gonna be on for another hour.
Nice.
Yeah, we're gonna get that next guest up in here. But what I was gonna say is, hey, if you're watching and you want to support me because you like what you see, you can find my Venmo, my PayPal, and the link tree in my bio on TikTok, as well as in the pinned message over on the YouTube stream. I get 100% of all the proceeds on those platforms, compared to 33% here and 33% over on the YouTube super chats. Go straight to me, as well as you'll be able to attach your name and a message that I could shout out and read off on live in front of everybody watching. Hello, Delph. Do you support Trump?
What's up? I don't really do the whole political thing. I just got a question for you because I've seen you a whole bunch on my For You page.
You know what?
It's like,
Shoot, I'll give you one question.
Okay, so it's like, do you believe in world peace, man? Like,
yes.
truly?
W world peace, bro. W world peace. All right.
Like,
Yo, can we get some
there ain't
W world pieces down
there
below
ain't
in that comment
nothing
section?
against like females and stuff. It's just having
What?
somebody, a female, in charge of our country
Women?
right now would not be the good looks. Look at Afghanistan.
Okay, so hold up. So because misogyny exists in the world, you're saying that we shouldn't elect a woman. So are you saying
it just
because
depends
hold,
on the
hold,
woman?
li-
I don't
li-
think
listen,
I
listen
don't
to this
think
real quick.
Camilla was the woman.
Kamala. So
Kamala,
I have a question. Do you believe ableism exists around the world?
What is that?
Like discrimination or bigotry against people who are disabled.
Yeah, I'm disabled. I get hate on all the time, man.
Okay, so ableism exists around the world. Does that mean that like you wouldn't vote for a disabled vet?
You said what?
Ableism exists around the world. So are you saying you wouldn't vote for a disabled vet?
I'm a disabled vet, so I would.
Okay, so you would still vote for a disabled vet. So it's not a good argument to say just because a form of bigotry exists around the world means that you shouldn't vote for someone who is a victim of said bigotry.
Also, I'd like to point out that this next argument's based upon vibes. So let me know if you disagree with my vibes. But I get the vibe that the UK had just a general sense of like more respect, support, and like camaraderie when we had the Queen compared to now when we have the King, right?
Yeah.
And in fact, I mean, I even see like a lot of posts on TikTok just referencing back to the UK when Queen Elizabeth II was still around and running things compared to now. Like, people really miss Queen Elizabeth II. People had so much respect for Queen Elizabeth II. Everybody loves Queen Lizzie. And, you know, like, this isn't to say that the king now is, like, bad, right? In fact, I don't know much about him, but he just doesn't have the aura that she did. And that's on the global stage with other global leaders. So I'm actually like not willing to accept, you know, the idea that on the global stage, leaders are less likely to support, to like respect a woman compared to a man. And you know, there's definitely like there's like some countries like I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Like Afghanistan is ran by the Taliban, and they're just like, terribly misogynistic. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, they automatically they won't even respect male leaders of countries because they don't think that women in their countries deserve like zero rights, right? So because there's male leaders that don't think women deserve zero rights, those leaders are gonna have less respect by like incredibly like misogynistic leaders.
I agree. I think females should have rights. I just
Women.
in this time period, you know, what's her name? Kamala.
Kamala.
I just don't think she was the right fit.
Okay.
Like I bring it back to like when what was that dude's name? Bill Clinton, when he was president, Hillary really ran things. What she said, that's what he did. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knows
Can you
that.
give me one policy of Donald Trump's that you like?
I like the no taxes on overtime. I used to work overtime a whole bunch.
Where's that bill?
Where's that bill?
With zero taxes on overtime.
I had to look, but I know
there is no such bill.
He was talking about passing it, so I believe he will pass.
There's not actual no tax on overtime.
Sorry, Parker, I chose peace. He said that he doesn't think that women should be able to lead. Both you and me give like very like simple, easy to follow and understand refutations. And then he just ignores it, goes back to repeating the claim. Like I don't think that there's much like productivity and continued conversation. Let's go to get that next guest up on the live. Let us know if you're MAGA down below in that chat. We'll get you up here. I've definitely like taken a stand of like just kind of kicking out guests if they're not here for productive conversation. I think it's better for the live. Plus, I think it's better for the people watching. But it's definitely better for me, bro. Like you're saving me. I'm getting saved a lot of mental distress by not giving my time to people who don't do anything productive with it ever. Let us know if you're MAGA down below in that chat. We'll pull you up. I'd love to debate. What's up, J Money? How old are you?
19.
What year were you born in?
2006.
Okay,
Sir?
are you 19 in high school?
No, sir. I go to UTSA.
It says MBHS in your bio.
Oh, I just graduated, sir. But I promise you I am not.
Nah, I don't trust it. Sounds like you're making your voice deeper. Hey, if you're watching, you want to come up and debate, go ahead and drop a MAGA down below in that comment section. I'll pull you up here. Everyone, just give us a minute. We're going to go to get that next guest up in the live literally right now. Give us a minute, y'all. Give us a minute. What is up, MAGA Boy 47?
What up?
How old are you?
18.
What year were you born in? What year were you born in?
2006.
Okay. You said in the bio that, you said in the comment sections that we're paid by the DNC.
Yeah, I was kind of just trying to get you to let me up.
Okay. But you actually support Trump. So why do you support Trump?
Because, what's not to like? He's doing everything we voted him in for.
So if there's so many things to like, it should be really easy to name one. Like, for instance, there's like so many fucking colors that I could very easily name a handful. Red, green, blue, yellow, purple. If there's so many good things that Donald Trump has done, it should be pretty easy to name one, right? So can you name one good thing that he's done that you like?
Yeah, but first, let me start off by saying, just so there's no confusion, I'm Dark Gothic MAGA, not just MAGA, so yeah. And then my
totally trolling. Get the fuck off the live.
Chill, Parker.
You're a Cookie King viewer.
Guess we're moving on. Hello, welcome in, new guest. Do you support Trump?
No, I just wanted to say I wanted to thank you for everything that you've been doing on this live. It really does a lot.
Building a Bear 18. I appreciate you for the love. That is incredibly kind of you. And Veteran, thank you for the $50 super chat over on that YouTube stream. Veteran says, good on you for learning to recognize a color so that it just can't be helped. This boomer is very proud of you, sir. Veteran, I love you. You already know that. I tell that to you every single day. Show some love to Veteran down below in the comment section. I want to be just like them when I grow up, and I say that every single time. We love Veteran here. One of the crowd favorites. Mike, what's up? You said that you're MAGA down below in the comment section. Why would you ever support such a terrible president?
So I actually voted for Harris, but I think I made a mistake. Even though she didn't win.
Okay, all right. Actually, the first time I've heard this since the election.
So you think you should have voted for Trump?
Oh, I'm sorry, you lagged.
So you think you should have voted
I didn't
for
hear
Donald
what you said.
Trump?
Either that or maybe voting for a third party. Or
WER, thank you so much for the $6 and the 45 cents over on PayPal. I appreciate you for the love. Thank you so much.
Given that you can either vote for Kamala Harris or Donald Trump, who do you think you should have voted for?
My reasoning for thinking I might have made a mistake, I'm really not sure, is I am a Christian, and a lot of my people I know voted for Trump, and even like till this day, they explain to me why.
All the Christians supported slavery too. It's something that's weaponized as a tool to draw people into your politics, and it has been weaponized as a tool to draw people into your politics, or into just a set of political beliefs forever. Christianity is
Also,
like
one thing
totally
is like,
weaponized.
yeah. Also, one thing is like Trump is like literally not even meeting the criteria of Christianity. For example, like, do you think that someone, in order to be Christian, they have to repent?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, Trump claimed that he never asked God for forgiveness, and a fundamental tenet or aspect of repentance is asking God for forgiveness.
Oh, I was not aware of that.
Yeah. Also, like, I just
Oh
want to
no,
be clear.
maybe I'm just more confused and regretful.
Sure. He also like has basically violated every single one of the 10 commandments. He's cheated on every single one of his wives. He has 30,000 confirmed lies under his administration. Right. He specifically said that he won the 2020 election with no evidence. He was held civilly liable of sexually abusing a woman. His policy specifically disproportionately helps the rich at the expense of the low and middle class. 80% of people will see tax increases under his bill, specifically through the big beautiful bill. That's his policy, and that's antithetical to a lot of the things Jesus advocates for. So, like, even if you are Christian, if you want to uphold the real good Christian norms, the good things about Christianity, well, that's everything that Donald Trump doesn't support.
Yeah, I think I'm more just confused, but
Okay.
when you say that, I think maybe it's a better thing I didn't vote for him. Thank you.
Yeah, of course, Mike. Cody and Joe, what's up, guys?
It's not right.
Cody and Joe, are you there?
Yeah, it's not a vape.
Do I vape?
No, it's a
Yeah, I've
fucking
seen
anxiety
vape.
pen. It's an anxiety pen, Joe. When will people get it right?
Oh, right. I've seen you vaping.
Cody.
Yeah.
Listen to me, man. I've had it up to here with people coming on this stream and telling me that I vape. Cody, I need you to hear me when I say this.
I didn't say that.
I don't vape. And the fact that you would perceive me as a person that would vape, that would smoke the nicotine, it honestly, it makes me disheartened in the way that I'm presenting myself to my community. Okay?
How dare
Because
you.
guess what? It's not a fucking vape. It's an anxiety pin. I'm sorry that I have anxiety. Okay? And honestly, yeah, it is kind of the fault of people like you that want to come up here and bully and berate me over something that I don't do. Okay? So cut the shit. It's not a vape. All right? It's an anxiety pin. And God, the amount of times that I've asked you to respect me and respect my anxiety pin is at this point getting ridiculous. Cody, so please,
Justified
for
crash
the,
out?
for the final and for the billionth time, will you please just respect the fact that it's not a vape and that it's an anxiety pen?
It's
Yo,
a
what
goddamn
flavor is your
anxiety
vape?
pen. Get it right.
What flavor is your vape?
Yo, you really
God,
got me.
get the fuck, just
in for this.
get the fuck out.
Get him out.
I hate women.
Okay, get out. You get out too, you fucking weirdo. What? Dude.
What?
Do you vape? Parker, do you vape?
No, it's a damn fucking anxiety pen.
Fuck was
Okay.
that? What the fuck, dude? What? Okay, Joe, you suck. Okay, we're gonna go to move on to the next guest. Let's go and get the next guest up in here. If you're in this stream and you support Trump, go ahead and hop in that queue, bro. What the fuck was, dude? What was that? Dude's just like randomly, oh, I hate women. Dude, get a life.
Like, bro, let Dean do his bit. Like,
Yo.
let Dean do his bit.
Yo.
That's Dean's one bit. Actually, you know what's kind of funny? You gained 1,000 viewers just doing the bit. Dean just gained 1,000 viewers doing the anxiety pen bit. I'm gonna be scrolling on my For You page later, and I'm gonna see a fucking video with like 3 million likes of Dean screaming about the fucking anxiety pen. Hey, whoever edits that video, you better fucking put me in it, buddy. You better put me in it, okay? I better see myself on my damn For You page later, okay?
Dude, honestly, it's just such like a. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. That is a total fucking content farm. I like.
It totally is. It totally is.
But it's funny as fuck. Okay, all right, yo, Gar, what's up? Do you support Trump? All right, Gar's not even here, guys. Go to drop a maggot down below in that chat if you do want to come up and debate, y'all. We're going to go to get that next guest up on the live literally right now, everybody. We're going to go to get that next guest up on the live literally right now. So if you are in that queue, make sure that does mean that you do indeed support President Donald J. Trump. In the meantime, I would like to thank Caitlin for the $10 over on Venmo 15 minutes ago, saying that you're amazing. Keep up the good work. I appreciate you so much for the love. Also, Parker, would you help me get a guest up while I'm thinking of these donations?
Yeah, I got you.
As well as Connie, thank you for the $5 over on Venmo, saying thank you for fighting the good fight. I really do appreciate what you do as a trans woman. Connie, thank you so much for the love. So let's show some love to Connie down below. As well as Kate.
Hold on. Bruce, can you keep speaking? Can you be quiet, or can you mute your mic? Or leave? Oh, you're what a good boy. What a fucking good boy, Bruce. What a good boy.
Dude, Bruce sucks. Bruce triggers me. Let's get him out of here.
Yeah, I wanted a good boy, Bruce. Sorry,
Caffeine Addict, what's up? Do you support Trump?
Yes.
How old are you?
1.
Yo, first honest thing. Okay, all right, awesome. Also, Kate, once again, thank you for the $10. And I'd also like to thank Jennifer for the $50 fucking donation over on PayPal. Holy shit, Jennifer. Jennifer says, our beautiful late Queen Elizabeth, we in the UK got to petition going to Parliament to stop Trump coming here in September. We don't want him. Oh, God, I don't want him either, Jennifer. I guess we're in agreement. Everybody, show some love to Jennifer down below in that chat right now for the $50 donation over on PayPal. Jennifer, that is so incredibly kind of you. Seriously, guys, show so much fucking love to Jennifer down below in the comment section. While we're getting that next guest up in here. What is up, Luke? Are you MAGA?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Luke, how old are you?
I'm 24.
Nice. And why do you support such a train wreck of a president, one of the worst that's ever been?
I don't think he's the worst that's ever been, but
so what do you like?
I would say Biden was way worse, to be honest, but all right.
Let's do comparative analysis real quick. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to say one bad thing about Trump's character or one bad policy that he passed and why. And then I'm going to give the mic to you, and you're going to say one bad thing about Biden's character or one bad policy that he passed and why. Can we agree to the terms of this game that we're about to play?
Let's do it.
Okay, I'll start. So Donald Trump is an adjudicated rapist. Your turn.
Well, that's not even true, though.
It is. So you could see the signed jury completed form where they did unanimously agree that he violently sexually abused E. Jean Carroll. So I'd be willing to bet money with you that it's true.
What was the evidence about that? Like, was there any evidence?
Oh, now you're asking for the evidence. Of course, we could have that conversation when you concede that it is true that he's an adjudicated rapist.
No, because it's not true.
Okay, so you don't think that a court determined he raped E. Jean Carroll?
Well, they might have determined it, but like it could have been just like a liberal court.
A liberal court. Okay. Why do you think it was a liberal court?
Yeah, yes, I do. I think it was a liberal court.
Okay. Why?
Because they were trying to make him not be able to run for president again. Like they were trying to kick him out,
Okay. I have a question. If it was a liberal court, all that you're saying is that the jury ruled that he was guilty without enough evidence of his guilt, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, and there's only one way you could know this. The one way you could know this is if you know the evidence they ruled on, right?
Well, the jury could have been like paid off or anything, honestly.
But regardless of what led them to being biased against Trump, that bias would demonstrate itself by them ruling he was guilty without enough evidence. And the only way you can know that is if you know the evidence that they used to rule his guilt, right?
I guess, yeah.
So go ahead and name one piece of evidence they used to rule his guilt.
Well, I never really looked at all the evidence, but
Okay. Well, now you just dunked on yourself because you
That's why I
agreed.
asked you. That's why I asked you.
So you
what was
agreed.
the evidence?
You explicitly
Can you tell me
agreed.
the evidence that they had?
We'll get on to that conversation. But right now, I want to make it clear you explicitly agreed the only way that you can know the jury ruled incorrectly is if you know the evidence they ruled on. And you don't know the evidence they ruled on. Therefore, you don't know the jury ruled incorrectly.
Yeah, sure. But can you tell me the evidence? Like, can you educate me on the evidence or no?
Yeah, for sure. So the evidence included testimony from E. Jean Carroll, which maintained consistency with therapist notes from the 90s, still under state records, alongside the testimony of seven other witnesses, as well as she claimed to have a dress with Donald Trump's DNA on it from when he raped her. The judge took the dress, confirmed it had male DNA on it, turned around, asked Donald Trump to provide his DNA so they could prove or refute that it was his specifically. Donald Trump said, no, 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 I won't be doing that. Seems like something a guilty man would do. Not to mention the lies in Donald Trump's stories, such as the fact that he said he had never met E. Jean Carroll, and which was met with a picture of them together, and the fact that he said he'd never raped her because she wasn't his type. But then he confused a picture of his ex-wife, who obviously was his type, because she was his
Okay,
ex-wife.
how could
with
how
E.
could
Jean
there be
Carroll.
DNA? How could there be DNA on her clothes if it happened like 25 years ago?
Do you know how DNA works?
Dude,
Do you know there's DNA for cases where people were murdered like 30 years ago, 40 years ago, and they get DNA and they hold them accountable now because they didn't have the DNA or same
They don't
DNA
like wash their
practices back in the
clothes.
past?
Like if you wash their clothes,
Actually, plenty of great victims don't, and they hold on to things like that for decades.
that is a
Because it
weird
is-
thing to hold on to.
DNA has a half-life of 520 years.
He's just a
And
victim blamer.
Didn't
He's saying
Didn't E. Jean Carroll said it was like consensual too?
no.
Like-
She did not fucking say that. She did not say that. You just made that up.
Hey,
No,
Luke.
I didn't, because they
Hey,
said
You
they.
just made that up.
Hey, Luke, I have an idea. Are you ready?
Yeah.
So were you listening when I thanked Jennifer for donating me $50?
Nah, but you can go ahead and thank her if you want.
No, I already did. That was a while ago. But what that means is now I have $50 to spend. I would like to bet you $50 that what you're saying is wrong.
For saying what?
You made the claim that she said it was consensual. Let's bet each other $50. If you're right, I'll give you 50. If I'm right, you give me 50.
You already get enough money on this dang app, bro.
So you know that
so you
you'd end
admit
up-
that he would get the money from you.
you
Well,
know that
no,
you'd end up
I'm not
giving
gonna
me
admit
money.
that. I'd bet, to be honest. Like, let's do it.
All right, take the fucking bet. You own $50. You literally already own $50.
Are you ready? Okay, you take the bet. You press X
Well,
to accept.
let me say what I heard. Right, like they went into like the Trump.
I just want to know if you
right?
accept my bet.
And then-
I'm betting you $50 that you're wrong when you say that she said it was consensual. Are you willing to do that?
Sure, dude.
Oh, okay, everybody. He just accepted it. He just verbally, explicitly accepted it. Go ahead and prove that you're right. Where's the evidence?
You prove that I'm wrong. Prove it to me that I'm wrong.
Dude,
There you
okay.
go.
So you actually have the burden of proof since you made the positive claim.
Okay, well, let me tell you this. I saw that they went into the Trump Hotel Plaza, right? And then they both
Luke,
went into like a back
Luke,
room.
I have dollar signs.
No one was screaming. No one was doing any of that. Like
I have dollar signs in my eyes right now. Give me evidence that she said it was consensual.
that shit. She wouldn't say that. She'll never say that.
Okay, you owe me $50. Why would you make that bet?
I'm not. I don't owe you nothing. No.
Yeah, you do.
He's not gonna pay.
You accepted a bet. I bet you $50 that you're wrong in saying that she said it was consensual.
I never said that she said that.
Dude.
I never said that.
Wow, what a lie! What a line POS. You owe me $50. My Venmo, my PayPal are.
no.
Listen, I'm gonna clarify it. My Venmo, my PayPal are in the link tree in my bio. So it's at DEANWITHRS. They're in the link tree in my bio. You know, my chat could even make it easier by like spamming it. If you're watching on the YouTube stream, you could also find it in the pinned comment. You owe me $50. As well as Brenna, thank you for the $25 over on PayPal saying, always good to see you. Thank you for the love, Brenna. That is incredibly kind of you. Everybody show some love to Brenna down below in that comment section. And Eric with $100 over on PayPal. Oh my God. Thank you so much for the love, Eric. That is ERIC. Show some love to Brenna and Eric down below in that comment section. Eric says, gonna make a deal. If any MAGA supporter can out-debate you and prove why Trump is better for the country, he will personally wire them $10,000. Oh my God, Eric, I love you and your confidence. You are great, dude. Show some love to Eric.
I'll take you up on that, Eric.
I'm only gonna allow you to take Eric up on his offer once you pay me $50 because that's what you owe me.
Okay. I voted for Trump just because, honestly, of the border policy.
Laugh it off,
Because
buddy.
there
Laugh it
was
off.
there was
Okay.
25 million
If you're
people
gonna
that came
laugh
through
it
the
off, we're
border
actually
illegally.
still not done playing our game. So I told you something bad that Trump has done. Now you tell me something bad that Biden has done. Remember the original
Let
game?
25 million come into our country illegally.
Okay, how did he do that?
Weak leadership.
Okay, could you like enumerate how his weak leadership let 25 million undocumented immigrants into
He
America?
told them to come on over with
Okay.
open arms.
Okay, when?
It was all over the news, buddy.
Then it should be easy to tell me when and find me a source.
You can look that up yourself. I'm on my phone. You have a computer in front of you, don't you?
Well, I mean, I adhere to MLA citations on this live. I don't request anything more out of you that your 11th grade English teacher wouldn't have. I simply ask for a publisher and a title of an article.
Well, I don't have a computer in front of me right now, so
You actually do have a computer in front of you. It's in your hands. It's your phone. You
I
can go on
can't.
pause
I
and
can't
can go
talk
on
to you
Google.
and like look it up, can I?
You're right. You can't talk to me when you leave the app, but you will remain connected to the live, so you can leave the app, go to Google, look it up, and come back. Also, Dean, thank you so much for the for the $15 on Venmo. Another Dean W. Dean says, real people keep their promises and uphold their bets. I didn't make a bet, but it needs to be said. Yo, can we get some W Deans in the comment section? All right. And I think he's telling the truth. You owe me $50. Why haven't you paid me yet? Also, Kate with $10. Thank you so much. Yes, you do. Are you ready for me to clarify exactly why you owe me $50?
I don't owe you $50, Dean.
I could clarify exactly why you do. Are you ready?
You said if I can, you can't even fucking prove that. What? Like it happened so long ago. Anybody can just come out and say that.
Well, you're saying that you can't prove it. Okay, that would still mean you don't owe me 50. But you actually said that it didn't happen. Okay, because what did we bet $50 on?
Bro, that Donald Trump raped her.
No. So we actually betted $50 on if E. Jean Carroll said it was consensual.
I never really heard you there, but
You did because
No, I don't.
Okay, why are we lying?
I'm not lying to you, bro. Like I never really understood the the question there, but
You do genuinely owe Dean $50. If you're not willing to pay it, that means you're not a man of your word.
Presley, thank you for the $15 over on Venmo saying the good fight. I appreciate that, Presley. That is Preslee. Thank you for the love.
Well, yeah, I mean, just I'm a Trump supporter, so I mean, the reason I voted for him was just mainly because of the border policy. That's it.
Okay, what's your favorite Trump border policy?
It's not about really policy.
You just said it was.
Well, no, it's about leadership. To be
Bro,
honest,
you literally just said you voted
it doesn't
for
matter.
Trump.
Policy doesn't matter when everything's like nobody's crossing the border, bro. Like, why would it matter?
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna be annoying. Okay, why is our music playing? Give me a second to turn off the music.
Fanboy.
That's a good song though. No. Anyways, I'm gonna be annoying. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna be annoying.
I would have better.
Bro, you literally
really is the border policy. That's it. I'm a Trump supporter, so I mean, the reason I voted for him was just mainly because of the border policy. That's it.
Okay, did you hear that?
Well, yeah. Well,
let's listen to it again.
A Trump supporter, so I mean, the reason I voted for him was just mainly because of the border policy. That's it. Oh, you got me. Hands tied, dude.
So, dude, what's your favorite Trump border policy?
Bro, you gotta stop this shit. Honestly, like,
Luke, why can't
it's not about policy.
Luke,
bro.
why can't you just admit defeat?
Okay, I admit defeat right there. My bad. I shouldn't have said policy. I should have said leadership.
Okay, what about his leadership do you like?
Well, how nobody's coming across the border or anything now, so.
Oh, okay, you're right. So you're right. Undocumented crossings into America have fallen dramatically, and I don't care, and here's why. Well, a lot of the motivations, a big reason why we've seen a huge reduction in undocumented entry into America is because undocumented immigrants are getting their human rights violated in America. He has illegally deported Abrigo Garcia without due process against his constitutional rights to a center for terrorist confinement in El Salvador, and that scares the hell out of other people, okay? So although that does reduce undocumented entry, A, it's not long-term because maybe the next president will be a full-blown fascist, and B, it's very unethical, right? And
Wasn't he a citizen of El Salvador?
Yeah, he was.
So you don't think
I'm so
it's
sorry.
good?
Like you're a citizen of America, right? But does that justify me violating your human rights, tying you up, and throwing you in a hole that only terrorists go into? No.
But I'm a citizen of my country, so
So do you think that the Trump administration illegally deported him?
no.
Okay. So I want to make another $50 bet. I want to bet you that he was illegally deported. Will you accept the bet?
Well, he was here legally, wasn't he?
So we're talking about if his deportation was legal or illegal. Would you like to bet me $50 on that?
Well, I would say he never got due process, but he was a member of MS-13, so.
Oh, okay. So there's actually only an allegation from...
There was like 2 court documents that said he was MS-13.
Which ones?
Which ones?
Bro, I can't what do you want me to do, bro? I don't have a computer.
We'll give you time to go look it up. We'll talk to someone else in the meantime. Go look it up, and we'll talk about
All
it.
right,
once you
I'll
find
look it up. I'll come back with some evidence, and I'm gonna smoke you, Dean. All right.
Yeah, like the attitude.
Good fucking
bud.
luck.
Like the
I'm
attitude.
gonna come back here. and
You're a
I'm
go-getter.
gonna-
You're a real go-getter, Luke. I can
I'm gonna
appreciate it.
blow the top off this, buddy. So just be ready.
Yeah,
be ready
aye,
for my
buddy.
return.
Yeah, aye,
you
buddy.
worm.
Go find the
Be ready for
document.
my return, worm. See you later.
Yo, Michael, thank you for the $10 over on PayPal. Thank you for the love, Michael. I read your message today. That is very kind. As well as Celestino, thank you for the $25. That is CELESTINO. They say all Trump supporters have the same mental capacity as him, and they will always like their president and say that they never said it or that they don't understand the questions. They will never own up to what they have agreed to or what their responsibilities are. I think that is a great description of 99% of the people that come onto this live, with the 1% remaining being people like Parker. Thank you for the love. What is going on, the banana? Do you support Trump?
Yeah, I do.
Ooh, I'm gonna, why,
Because he was stopping a two-prisoner long war in Afghanistan.
We've talked to this guy before.
Oh, how long has it been?
He has the most distinct voice ever.
Why do you guys always remember my voice?
How long has
You're
it
kind of sick too.
How long has it been since we've talked?
I don't know. It's been a while. It's probably been about a year.
How come you're still
Maybe
running
like
the same
6
old
months, I
talking
don't know.
points?
Because it's really all I need. It's factual.
Yeah.
I have a question. How do you feel about his BBB?
Better Business Bureau?
The big, beautiful bill.
I don't see a problem with it. What's your beef with it?
Yeah, it costs like
What?
almost $4 trillion and decreases the after-tax income for 80% of Americans per the Center for Budget and Policy Priorities.
And it cuts
You don't look at the
Medicaid.
economic projections moving forward, like the next how many fiscal years, how it gets it back?
How it
appreciate
gets the
that.
3.8 trill back?
Yeah,
Wait,
you
where-
don't look at the economic projections created by the economic models
Right.
that they used.
Right. Well, I'm not gonna...
Name the study.
Yeah, I don't think that there has been any studies done on the predictions.
I don't know the study. It's
I do know
actually-
that
it's in the bill.
I do know that the
The
first
categorization.
the first go around with the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act only added 0.02% growth to GDP per year. But I'm not gonna lie, even if it got every single dollar back and it net costs $0, it would still cutting the after-tax income for 80% of Americans is a bad thing.
Let me show him how ridiculous that is. In order for you to be able to get that back in revenue, you would have to get like 30 trillion in GDP growth.
Well, wouldn't you think like the tariffs on all the other countries would compensate for that at some point?
What? The tariffs? No, the
All
tariffs
the
won't
tariffs
compensate.
on the other countries.
No, because you're not going to keep them in place, are you? Aren't they for renegotiation?
Some of them are. Some are retaliatory, saying back down or we're not going to back down.
Okay, so you want to keep the tariffs implemented. They're not renegotiation.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you are aware that America gives about 24%
Then why are they
of the global
currently
GDP
paused?
based off our spending power.
Then why are they currently
What?
paused?
Which ones?
Practically all of them?
Are you talking about the low-duty tariffs that China had going on that CNN, MSNBC bragged about and they were put back in place? Those judges got, slapped in the face.
No, I'm saying the fact that they're paused because he's currently trying to negotiate with them. That's what he's saying.
Yeah, some are retaliatory, some are meant for different purposes. Like we saw the Canadian border being reinforced and the Mexico border being reinforced. Hey, he actually completed a promise he gave to us in the first term. But you guys said a wall was stupid. We agreed. So
It actually contradicts
it actually
contradicts his trade policy with Canada and Mexico in the first term, as the USMCA specifically was targeted to decrease tariffs.
How did this guy manage to wiggle?
Oh, I
out of
really don't. I
responding?
don't really don't care about Canada's agreement because Canada was charging double the oil barrel price that under Biden
How did
that
this
they
guy
were for Trump,
manage
so
to
they kind of slapped us in the face.
How did this guy manage to
didn't
wiggle
answer
out
what
of
I just
responding to the fact that the BBB decreases the after-tax income for 80% of Americans per the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities? How did he manage to wiggle out of that one?
I didn't wiggle out of that one.
Yeah, you didn't.
We didn't talk about it. You didn't bring it up specifically.
We brought it up twice.
No, you didn't. That's the first time you literally brought it up. You said, "How do I feel about the BBB?" And I said, "Better Business Bureau."
You
didn't elaborate.
I elaborated and stated this next quote twice. Per the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities, it reduces the after-tax income for 80% of income earners in America. I elaborated that twice.
Oh, what's your source on that? Is that in the actual bill in the breakdown by the economists?
Yeah, so it's once again I gave the source in the elaboration, the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities.
Okay, what page? I'm gonna bring it up.
For sure, let me pull it up. Yeah, go ahead, Parker. You can talk to him. I'll pull him down.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know what your point is, man. We were talking about. Do you think
So
the
I got a
USMCA,
question.
Do you think the USMCA was bad?
What's USMCA? YMCA?
The United States, Canada, and Mexico agreement.
Oh,
the
I
trade
think
agreement
like,
under-
like Canada pretty much thrives off of anybody giving them money. I mean, if you look at their GDP stimulation based off international trade, yeah, they depend on everybody. We can make the rules however we want. They depend on us, not vice versa.
To clarify with you, the USMCA was under Trump's administration. That was his trade deal.
Yeah, and we actually did good because we're getting half the cost a barrel per oil that Joe Biden totally screwed up.
We're not even close to half the cost. You just totally made that up.
No, you can go to EIA.gov and look it
Yeah,
up. dude.
and it's
literally
not half
there.
the cost. You want to bet?
Yeah, go ahead.
You say it was half the cost. Half the cost in what point?
It was
the end of Biden's
not
administration?
exactly half, but pretty darn close too.
The-
You look
no,
at the difference price
wait,
comparative
wait, comparative-
analysis between crude oil between both.
Wait, comparative to the end of Biden's administration?
No, during Biden's whole administration.
At the end of his
Canada's
administration.
a non-OPEC governed country, and if you
I'm
look
at-
at
I'm
the
at-
export
no,
levels
hold
of
on,
Joe Biden, he was actually shipping all of our shit out overseas to OPEC governed countries, and we're paying double to Canada. That's why the prices went up.
So at the end of Biden's administration, are you saying the price of oil or price of gas was almost 2 times that of the price of gas or oil right now?
No, what we were
Then what's your
paying
argument?
to Canada per barrel.
Okay,
He was
well,
doing
we're
it all
paying
through
to
his
Canada.
administration.
What's your source for that?
EIA.gov.
Yeah, no. What's the title?
Just look up crude oil cost, import Canada. Last 10 years by year.
Also, yeah, I'm gonna give you like the page. I obviously I'm not gonna expect you to read this all right now because it's lengthy as fuck. But if you literally go on cbpp.org and you click on like the first thing on their homepage, which is House Republican tax bills skewed to wealthy, costs more than extending 2017 tax law and fails to deliver for families. They do a full-on breakdown of the claim I made.
You are aware that I could wipe my ass and create an org URL at any point I want, right? You got a .gov source?
Yeah, but if you were to create an org URL like them and make the claim that they did, you'd also have to be like them and provide, let's see here, 56 different citations for their work.
Also, he
You
just
actually
like
don't,
completely
because
made up his
the
claim.
internet's not governed by the Federal Communication Commission, so they're not subject to libel, slander, or misinformation.
So actually, yeah, you can be subject to libel, slander, and misinformation on the internet, regardless of like if you're a .com.
FCC regulations cover that now?
It's covered not by FCC regulations. It's covered by federal law.
Oh, so they get no penalty for lying out of their ass to be politically biased. Okay,
No,
that's why I was
you
asking for
absolutely
.gov
can get a
resource.
penalty
I was
for
asking
lying
for
out
the
of
bill.
your ass. You absolutely can get a penalty for lying out of your ass.
Yeah, it's called civil suit.
Yeah,
You remember that
precisely.
with Donald Trump, right? Okay. Yeah, there's not really a penalty because everybody's lying about him. What is he going to do, line up all 5 million?
So then you agree that they can be penalized. So I want to clarify that you haven't even read the study and you want to critique it already? Because it's...
No, I read the study. I know you're full of shit and you're pulling talking points. That's why you can't go to .gov.
You've read the study, truly. Tell me what figure 1 in the study is.
I haven't read your study. I read .gov.
Get the fuck out of here. You've read .gov?
That's why I was asking you to go to .gov. Yeah.
.gov is not a website. That's
We're
a
talking
subdomain.
about politics, dude. We're not getting rumors from strangers we don't know.
Wait. .gov is not a website. That's a subdomain. What do you mean, go to .gov? What?
URL, go to .gov. Go to the domain, dude. Go directly to the source.
Dude, this guy is lost.
What do you mean, go to .gov? Okay, that's like the
Are
equivalent.
you crashing out?
I'm just saying that's
Are you
like
crashing out, dude?
a little bit, because that's like saying go to .com. Just go to
No,
.com.
.gov
Just
is a
go to
government
.com,
resource.
bro.
We're talking politics, government, economic policy created by a government. Somebody
just
go directly
go
to
to
the source. I know
.com,
it's
bro.
weird,
I'm telling you,
guys.
just go
I
to
know it's
.com.
weird. Heaven
I'm telling
forbid
you,
we go right
just
to
go
the
to
source,
.com,
right?
bro. I'm telling you.
Get your ass out of here. You're wasting my goddamn time. Go to .gov my ass, bro. Holy fuck. Let's go get that next guest up in here. But I'd implore everybody to go to .org, particularly cbpp.org, and read their super extensive breakdown. It's on the top of their website. They have over 56 total citations. They're a great group of people. They're putting in the work for the American citizens. And by the time you're done reading that, you'll be like, holy shit, this Trump guy sucks. And I mean, if you just like want to reject any source of information that isn't coming from a .gov, well, then you're probably in the wrong place, because you know this live stream isn't a .gov. So like the arguments that I make and back with fact are like synonymous to the arguments that they make and back with fact. A lot of people are saying that guess one, I would love to talk to you guys. In fact, I'm going to invite you. Now there's going to be a whole lot of people that start spamming it because I just said I'm going to invite the people that say it. So I'm actually not going to invite anybody new.
Cookie King mogs you. Cookie King mogs you. Cookie King mogs you.
Okay,
Yeah,
so that
see
was
how
one
they're
of the...
trolling?
Yeah, that was one of the people. Anyways, we're going to move on to the next guest, Epic Gamer. Quite frankly, everyone just give us a minute, y'all. Just give us a minute to get that next guest up in here and rope. Wow, okay. I'm not going to read off your name because they would like to stay anonymous, but thank you for the $50 over on PayPal. Please don't say my full name, but this is for Luke not giving you your winnings. You could read the message if
That's
you
rough.
want. I have autism, and watching your debates really means a lot to me. And I love you. Oh, I love you too, Roger. Thank you so much for the $50 donation and the incredibly kind message. Please show some love to Roger. They said not to read their full name, so we could refer to them by Roger. Show some love to Roger down below in the comment section. That is incredibly kind of you. Shout out, Roger. That's awesome, man. I love you, bro. I love you. It's very kind of you. What's up, Epic Gamer? Do you support Trump? All right, they're not even here, y'all. We're gonna go to get that next guest up in here, and I'm gonna end the live pretty soon. Co-hosting with me all day, Parker. How'd you like it?
Yeah, and I'm staying after you too. I started before you, and I'm staying after. Is
Bro,
diabolical.
what's up with like the demon mode you've been on recently?
What do you mean?
Like you just been going like demon time, like 8-hour streams a day.
I'm not even doing 8 hour. I'm just doing like 5, 6.
Base, bro. I mean, hey, have fun. You're killing it. You've been killing it. I don't have it in me to do that. Sally, thank you so much for the $20 donation over on PayPal. Sally didn't leave a message, but Sally, just know that I appreciate you. Know that I appreciate you a whole lot. And if you're watching and you're interested in supporting me, you could actually find my Venmo and my PayPal, the handle for them, on the top of your phone screen right now, right there on top of why do you support Trump? They're right there. Let's go and get that next guest up in here, guys. This is probably going to be the very last guest of the evening. We got Dakota James.
In the meantime, everyone make sure to like the streams and tap the screen on TikTok. Let's get to 4 million likes before we end Dean's stream.
Wow, man. I also just wanted to thank you guys for hanging out recently. The streams have just been doing crazy. Kennedy,
going
thank you
wild.
so much for the $15 over on Venmo, saying, "Do you
Yo,
know
what's good,
that
D?
you doing that you stand and that you fight for?" Thank you, Kennedy. And then Jack with the 2 cents saying, "Buy yourself something real nice." Yeah, thank you, bro. It's gonna get me a whole lot. What's up, Theo Lifts? Are you MAGA?
Yo, yes, bro.
Yes.
So,
Are you British?
nah,
Or
I'm from New
Australian?
Zealand.
New Zealand. All right. Well, unfortunately, we're only looking to talk to people from America. Do appreciate you for coming up, though. All right. Who's the last guest? We'll try to get Carson up here.
Parker, you gonna continue? Yes, I should be on until like 7:30.
What's up,
8
Carson?
my time, so it's about 6 o'clock.
You
What's
support
up?
you support Trump?
Right
Hell yeah.
Oh, ew, cringe. Brandon, thank you for the galaxy. Cringe, Carson.
Who are you?
Who am I? I'm Dean. Who are you?
Trump supporter.
So why do you support Donald Trump?
Because why would I support Kamala Harris?
How old are you?
Kamala.
How old are you? How old are you? Real quick, how old are you? Yeah, this is a child. This is a child. Yo, Mustang EcoBoost. What's going on? Do you support Trump?
Not an EcoBoost, but yeah, you right now.
Mustard EcoBoost?
Okay, I like.
No,
I like
it's a Mustang.
I'd like to clarify
Mustard?
that you said
The
that
Mustang GT.
I'd like to clarify there that you said it was a GT. So no, that is an EcoBoost. You could tell by the
No,
tips
look,
of the
no,
exhaust.
no. It's a GT in the back. Trust me.
So
I drive every single day.
that's called an aftermarket Timu re-emblem.
Really?
It's an emblem. It's an aftermarket.
Nah, you're
Timu
mad because you
emblem.
don't have one, bro. You're mad because you don't have one.
No, man, it's just an EcoBoost. Why? You're mad because
It's
you
a
drive an
GT.
EcoBoost that you rebranded with the Timu emblem?
I did not rebrand it. No.
Yes, yes, it is. I swear to God, that's a rebranded EcoBoost.
You swear to God?
Yeah, that is an EcoBoost right there, buddy.
You know they don't even make this your Mustang EcoBoost.
Well, they obviously
So-
do
so
because
you're
it's an
stupid.
EcoBoost.
What do you mean? Obviously, do it's
What do? You lie about the year it was made too? Because that's an EcoBoost.
the 2014. They don't even make the fifth. I mean, sorry, the EcoBoost came in 2015.
Why are you lying about it being a 2014 then? Is that just like the argument?
Why
that
would I be lying, dude?
Why
It's
are
my
you lying?
Mustang. You don't have
Because
a
you want to
Mustang.
because you
You're
want to
mad
drive a
you don't have
DT,
Mustang.
but you don't drive a GT. You drive a
I
V6
do drive a
EcoBoost.
GT.
No, you drive a V6 EcoBoost.
A V6. Okay, what's a V6 again?
A V6,
Tell me
it's
what
a
V6 is.
six-cylinder engine that you drive.
And,
You drive
how
an
much does the
EcoBoost.
EcoBoost have? How much does the EcoBoost have?
What the fuck is being said right now?
What's
How
being
much?
said? What's
How
being-
many cylinders does the EcoBoost have? Do you know, Parker?
I know it's like 2, right?
Why
'Cause
the
it's so
fuck would I know
slow.
that?
It's
I
actually
know
it's
more
actually
cars
it's
about
actually a
you.
one. It's a one-cylinder engine.
I know more about cars about you, Parker.
Shut up! It's a 4-cylinder engine. You can't even pull that. I was just fucking.
So
with
why'd
you.
you call it a V6 EcoBoost if the V6 is 6-cylinder and the EcoBoost is 4-cylinder, huh?
Because it
Oh, I
reminds
got
me a
you
lot
there.
of a V6. You know, like the same V6 that got my, my bicycle from 0 to 60
You know, what do
in
you
around 2
drive?
minutes.
What do you drive? What do you drive?
Definitely not an EcoBoost.
I don't speak car. Like, what is going on right now? Is this cars? Like, okay, Lightning McQueen.
I have a question.
Lightning McQueen?
Why do you lie
Yeah.
about your EcoBoost being a GT?
Why are you so insecure why are you so scared to tell me what car you drive? How about that?
I'll tell you what car I drive as soon as you admit that you drive an EcoBoost.
It's a GT.
It's an EcoBoost.
It's a 5.0.
Stop
Mustang
fucking
GT.
lying. It's an EcoBoost.
Why are we lying about the car?
It's
Why
a
are we lying
lie.
about this
Stop lying. It's an EcoBoost.
shit? Once again, they don't make these fucking models in EcoBoost.
Yes, they do, because you're driving it. It's in your profile picture. I'm looking
they
at the
don't.
model. It's an EcoBoost. You're lying about the
looking
years,
at it,
mate.
you
It's
see
a
it says GT in the
2016 EcoBoost.
It's a 2014.
No, you're lying. It's a 2016
And the
EcoBoost.
2016 ones
Why do
are
you lie?
actually
Why just
S550.
admit that you drive an EcoBoost?
Why don't you admit? Why don't you tell me what kind of car you drive?
Because you won't tell me what kind
It's
of
good. It's a fucking
you
GT.
drive.
You know it's a GT, right?
Buddy, I need you to calm.
Don't buddy me.
I need you to calm down.
What kind of car do you drive, Dean?
I really need you to calm down. You're losing.
You're so mad you don't have a Mustang GT like me,
No, I just
right?
I just like,
And
I
Parker,
like to
what you
troll
drive?
you.
Tell me what you drive. Just tell me what you drive. Just tell me what you drive. Both y'all, right now. Tell me what car do you drive?
Sorry.
Give me your license plate number.
You can see it in the photo. How about that?
Don't say that. Don't say that, bro. Don't say that. Don't say that. Don't say that.
Come on, bro. You know, I was just joking, bro.
You can see it in the photo.
Okay, stop it.
What do you drive? Answer the question.
I'm not going to tell you what I
Can
drive.
you actually see
Why?
it in the photo?
Oh, I actually
not?
because of privacy and security concerns.
Well, the kind of car you drive, really privacy.
Yeah,
and security concerns?
for sure. I was out getting dinner with my girlfriend the night before last, and we got shot out
I
by
don't
some
think you're
lunatic
that-
with a BB gun.
Okay, how about you, Parker? Then, well, you tell me. What kind of car you
yeah,
drive.
yeah. It's a valid
Wait,
concern.
what did you want to hear, Mustard?
No, shut up about the mustard shit. What kind of car do you drive?
I'm not gonna say.
Why could you just? Why? Because my car's faster than you. My car's faster than yours, and it's better. Has better handling. It's faster. Sounds better. Everything's about it's better.
It sounds like you have a lot of something to make up for.
Expand on that for me, please. Expand on that.
No, I gotta stop that now. Don't call people with decent cars small penis.
No, he's just
Don't
overcompensating.
Don't
That's
say
all
that.
it is.
No, not everybody. This guy might be overcompensating, but not everybody with a nice car is overcompensating.
I
Tucker,
totally
what do you
agree.
drive?
It is this guy. It is this guy.
Parker, what do you drive? Just tell me. Like what car? Like what kind of like? Let me guess. Toyota Corolla.
No.
Honda Civic.
Nope.
Honda Accord.
Nope.
Is it front wheel drive?
No.
It's rear wheel drive.
I think so.
It's
I
not.
don't know.
Not.
I have no clue.
Your car's
How do you not know your cars?
Your car's not rear wheel
I have no
drive.
clue.
Your car's.
How do you not know? It is rear wheel drive.
No, it's not. It's all wheel drive.
It has 4 wheels.
It's all wheel drive.
It's all wheel drive. That's what I thought.
There you go.
Oh, just all wheel drive. You have like an Audi or something. You have an Audi, like
No, I don't.
like a truck. Like what do you like? Just give a sedan. How about that?
Car talk. It's an EcoBoost.
Dean, does it categorize itself as a sedan?
No, it's
just tell me. Why are you so scared to tell me? Why are you so scared to tell me?
It's an SUV. You're driving an SUV.
It's an SUV.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh.
No.
SUV.
EcoBoost. You're driving EcoBoost. Stop driving.
I drive a Mustang GT.
You're driving EcoBoost.
Once again, they don't make the 2014s in EcoBoost.
Do you want to know the reason I know that you drive an EcoBoost?
How?
Because I saw you the red light the other day. In fact, you're still at it because your car goes fucking 0.02 miles off the jump. Miles per hour
No,
off the jump.
0 to 60 is
like
4.6 seconds.
0 to 60 in like
Plus
6
wheel
months,
spin.
bro. Like I swear to God, you're gonna get to your
You
destination.
couldn't be able to handle the car.
You're gonna get to your destination quicker by
No.
UPS, dude. Put yourself in a box and ship yourself. Not even
moment
priority to your neighbor's house, and you'll get there
You
quicker.
probably spin out and crash and end up hospitalized because there's so much power you can't handle it. Because this car's rear-wheel drive.
No. I would rather
rear
be
wheels.
hospitalized than in the driver's seat of that EcoBoost. I'd get more shit done.
Really? Oh.
I'm so confused right now.
Sorry. No, I just like to troll this guy about his car. I'm sorry. That was totally unproductive.
Just
okay?
tell me what you
Sorry.
drive.
No,
Parker,
concerns. Tell just okay. Stop the car talk. Tell us why you support Trump.
I like his policies. Actually, no, not policies. I like what he. I don't like abortions, and I don't like Kamala Harris that much. Yo,
Why don't you like Kamala Harris?
I just cause like she, how she was like next in line when Joe Biden backed down, she was like just there, like next picked.
She doesn't have an EcoBoost. that's.
She probably drives like a little Toyota Corolla too.
No,
To be honest.
Can you like actually like go ahead?
Yeah. So, and I'm pretty sure like I don't like how she, when she goes like on stages or talks to a different audience of like different races, she like switch up like the way she talks.
Code switching. So fascism, you're okay with. You saying you dated a 10-year-old girl in 10 years, you're okay
That's
with. Held
disgusting.
civilly liable of sexually abusing a woman, you're
That's
okay with.
disgusting, bro. That's
Undermining the
disgusting.
2020 election, you're okay with. Oh, wait, that's disgusting. That's the guy you voted for.
10-year-old girl that
You're
really?
willing to overlook all those things because she code switches.
When did he say that? Wait,
The 10-year-old girl point?
yeah.
1992. He said he would date a 10-year-old girl in 10 years. It's on audio recording. We can play the audio for you if you'd like.
I can't support that. But like besides his like nasty character.
Wait. So then, given that that's the case, why would you? Do you regret voting for him?
Well, no, because I feel like he said he was gonna make the economy better. And, like,
Wait, so you would say that you would support a candidate that said he would date a 10-year-old girl in 10 years as a 50-year-old man, so long as he quote unquote makes the economy better?
that's not what it's. I can't defend that, Parker. I can't.
Okay, so you can't defend that. So then why do you support him?
Because I vote for like what he's gonna do with the country, not what he said 30 years ago.
Okay, so then you're willing to vote for anyone, regardless of what they. Wait, if Trump literally shot someone on Fifth Avenue, would you still support him?
No.
So why is shooting someone on Fifth Avenue so bad insofar as you wouldn't support him, but not saying you would date a 10-year-old girl in 10 years as a 50-year-old man and being held civilly liable of sexually abusing a woman?
Because I believe killing is worse than saying something disgusting.
Then sexual abuse?
I'd say those are both the same severity.
Then sexual abuse and pedophilic jokes.
those I'd say those are the same severity. Like I can't really decide.
Those two aren't excessively bad insofar as that you wouldn't support someone.
They are bad. I'm not saying that it's not bad. I'm just saying that like that doesn't really have to do with like today, like 2025, and being.
Yo, Owen, thank you for the $5 on PayPal saying love you, Dean. Also, that guy's got an eco.
Do you agree on that?
So real, Owen. He does. Thank you for the $5.
Someone being okay with pedophilic jokes and being held civilly liable of sexually abusing a woman is definitely indicative that they're going to support things that are not beneficial for many of the communities in the United States, especially those that are marginalized.
Expand on that for me, please.
I mean, like that Donald Trump doesn't care about women or marginalized communities.
He probably changed. It was 30 years ago.
Yeah, I feel like the word probably there is doing a lot of heavy lifting.
Well, hopefully. I'm hoping
for your vacuous position. He hasn't changed.
Has he ever addressed his behavior? He still denies it to this day.
Right, and he called for E. Jean Carroll to be in prison like a month ago. Like, get real.
He said that he wouldn't have sexually abused her because she's quote unquote not his type. But then in a deposition, he mistook her with his ex-wife, indicating that they're either both his type or both not his type. So he would have sexually abused her either way.
That's gross. I don't want to hear about it.
Okay, so then why do you want to support him still? If you don't want to hear about it, why do you want to support him?
Like you spend too much time under the hood of your EcoBoost. You need to definitely spend more time educating yourself on politics, particularly like the man that you support, because you seem to be calling a lot of the things that he's done disgusting. But maybe if you actually believe
that's disgusting. I can't defend that.
Exactly, you can't defend Trump.
No, I can't defend the pedophilia and saying he's gonna, I can't defend pedophilia.
If Biden was a pedophile rapist, how far do you think he would have gotten in the election?
Nowhere. But then Duran, I remember he smelled like a little girl's head before. So
he did. He smelled his granddaughter's hair at her father's funeral.
No, I remember it was a little Asian girl. She was Asian, and that wasn't his daughter
Then I don't know what you're talking about. Honestly, I gotta get off for the night. We're kind of running up. One last thing.
His dude, is that the EcoBoost? You driving the EcoBoost?
Yeah, one last thing. Do you think that you could push your car faster than it would go on its own?
Dude, this thing is. I had it up to 150 before. This thing is a.
Did he just admit on a TikTok live to going 150?
Wait, 150 centimeters?
Miles per hour.
Centimeters per
hour? Where were you doing this, Mustard?
Back roads, it was in Ohio. So
in Ohio?
Okay. They're straight roads, and I just gunned it.
You just gunned it, and you went 150 miles an hour on a road, right?
Yeah, but no one's on the road.
Dude,
no one's on the road.
Okay, yeah, there's nobody on the road. I'm just going to say this to you, man. Don't do that. Come on. Stupid as fuck.
That is just not smart. That's just not smart, man.
Listen,
Your
man,
car can't do it. I know that.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I remember I was really young, and I was friends with a dude that was too crazy for his own good, too crazy for my own good. And we did the whole go 150 on a desolate straight back road with nobody around. And looking back on that shit was dumb as hell.
It's still fun though. You only have you can only live once.
Bro said it's still fun.
Dude, it's so.
You only live once. Just
exactly. You only live once. That's my point.
At least die doing what you loved. And for me, that's speeding.
Dude, but
and maybe wipe out a family of 4.
If it's on
I said there's no one on the road but me. So that wouldn't happen.
Die speeding, guys. This
There's
is
a time and
this
place
is
for
the
everything.
best advice I've ever heard. Also, the whole time and place thing, bro. Don't trust it. Don't trust it, because what you think is a time and place to speed can very easily turn out to not be a time and place to speed. But by the time you realize, it's way too late. You know, like one of those desolate fucking back roads. There's like a house every 3 miles. Well, I mean, next thing you know, there's a car pulling out one of those houses. Don't worry, they're half a mile in front of you, but there's not shit you could do because you're going 150 goddamn miles.
I have 6 years of experience in this car. I've been driving this car since I was 14.
Well, no amount of experience could ever account for some granny pulling out of her driveway. Okay.
Dude, take a shot for every time this guy admits to a crime on live.
It's not a crime.
It is.
I never got caught though, so I'm continue.
No cop, no stop. So real, bro.
I never get caught.
Be real. No, I get it, man. It's fun to go fast in nice cars. But it's definitely a bad idea.
Nikki, I appreciate you saying I'm a nice car, but
no, you drive an EcoBoost.
No, it's a GT. Oh, it's EcoBoost can't even go that fast. That's the crazy part.
I know that it went 150 centimeters per hour, not miles.
Centimeters?
Yeah, 150 centimeters per mile, 150 full rotations in 24 hours.
Nah. I'm gonna get off your live now.
Yeah, feel free to run away
Should
from
you,
the
like-
live. It'll be faster to run than to
Let me see.
drive because
I'm
you
running
drive
away
in
from your
eco
live. I'm
boost.
not running away.
No, like I said, it'd be faster to run from the live than to drive because I mean you already know why. It's because
Okay, is my car faster than your car? How about that?
Wait. Did you crash it?
It was. I think it was when I was going a little fast on these straight roads, and I hit like ice slush, and I spun out in someone's yard. But
dude,
the alignment was off.
Please, bro, please.
He did not just have that conversation with us and then inform us of that.
For you, well, like,
there's road conditions.
This isn't even like political anymore, bro. Please don't do that anymore. Dude, you could have fun in a fast car without going 150. You know, like gun it off a stop. See, you know, maybe just do a quick little 0 to 60 type shit. Don't go like
I was
150.
going straight. Then I floored it. There was ice slush on my rear wheels, and I 360 into someone's yard. And like the bumpers.
Earlier you told me that I wouldn't know how to control it. I'd spin out in somebody's yard. Turns out you're speaking from experience.
No, but like, okay, you would spin out in my car on like normal roads, perfect roads. You know, like I can handle this car without traction control. I don't need any of that traction control, stability control. I
Wait,
can
do you like on a typical day-by-day basis? Do you turn off traction control?
Not really. I don't really need to.
Okay, thank God. Thank God. I thought you were about to say that you did. Oh my God. What a No,
but
okay. All right. Go right away in the EcoBoost. Go right away. Yo, MT, thank you for the $50 over on Venmo. I appreciate you for the love, MT. MT says you're doing more good than most of the Dims in Congress right now. I probably should have read that before I just rage baited that dude about his car for fucking 20 minutes. But regardless, MT, thank you so much for the $50 donation, guys. Show some love to MT down below in that comment section. As well as Lynn, thank you for the $10 saying you're the best. Thank you for the love, Lynn. As well as another Dean with a $5. Guys, thank you so much for the love. I appreciate everybody and the kindness that you guys have shown today. At this point, it is 7:10 p.m. over here in Colorado. I'm going to get off, make some dinner, hang out with a girlfriend, and have a good rest of our Saturday evening. Everybody in here, if you feel like watching some more debates, I'm sure that Parker's going to go live pretty quickly after we end. That also applies to the 1,700 people in that YouTube stream. I will see you guys tomorrow. And if you haven't already, make sure to hit that follow button because we do these lives every single day. Yeah, where are you going live, Parker? Inform the chat so they could follow you.
I'm already live on TikTok on Parker Got a GF. I'm just going to go to my girlfriend's account, but you can also just click through on this account and I'll join as a guest on this one, on my thing.
So
on
you
this
guys,
account. Or you can go to my YouTube, Parker Get a Job.
So you guys know where to go, at Parker Get a Job on YouTube or at Parker Got a GF on TikTok. I love you all so very much. I will see you tomorrow, and I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your Saturday evening. If you're going out, stay safe and have fun, guys. Have a good rest of your evening, Parker. Take care.
Good seeing you, Dean. As always, man.
Yeah. And if you're drinking tonight, remember, okay, for those that are going out and having some fun tonight, if you're drinking, okay, remember water. You'll thank me tomorrow morning. Peace, love, and good night.